and 2 other sailors who were killed in a terrorist attack at the Naval Air Station in Pensacola back in 2019. Watson was shot several times by the gunman, but still managed to alert emergency responders of the attack before he died. This prevented a greater loss of life at the military base. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Pizza Perfect is feeling jolly, offering a great deal in December. Buy any large pizza and get a medium pizza for only $5. Pizza Perfect's buffet includes pizza as well as spaghetti, breadsticks, salad, dessert, and drink for only $13. Buffet is available Monday through Saturday for lunch and for dinner on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Pizza Perfect is also available for pickup and delivery. Get a medium pizza for $5 with the purchase of any large pizza in December at Pizza Perfect, Coliseum Boulevard, Eastbrook.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Progressive has great customer service, and it's easy to reach us because great and easy is the way to be. Like salads, great for you, and so easy you can put any group of veggies in a bowl and it's a salad. A full carrot with a head of cabbage, weird, but still a salad. 1 radish and a couple of green beans, also a salad. 14 blueberries, half an onion, and a sunchoke. Odd, yes, but an odd salad. So contact Progressive's customer service by phone, app, or online. It's great and easy, just like salad. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal, and a Happy New Year.
This is how you conduct yourself in a democracy.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into the program. I'm your host, Joey Clark. I don't know if y'all are already in the Christmas movie watching mood, but I have to admit I am. I might have watched one last night, but I don't want to reveal it just yet. In a second, we'll get into the meat of the show, but sometimes you find a movie might be watching you, for he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. Psalm 91:11. Are not all angels ministering spirits sent to serve those who will inherit salvation? Hebrews 1:14. The best movies tend to watch you the more you watch them. Watch a great film enough and it becomes more than just a film, but a constellation that serves to watch, minister, and guard us through the ever-changing seasons of life. Classic Christmas movies can especially evoke reactions in a repeat viewer that reveal more about the viewer than the movie itself. Christmastide can be the most wonderful as well as the most despairing time of the year. Yet, each Noel, the same films play in the background for the lonely and the loved all the same. The same stories flickering on our screens as spirits or ghosts, uplifting or haunting us with all the memories the holiday can bring. For me, Frank Capra's film, It's a Wonderful Life, has served this role, watching me on many Christmases past. Upon my first watch as a teenager, alongside friends and family on a beach trip, I was charmed by the movie's sweeping perspective of one man's life all wrapped up in the saving grace of God and his angels. As a hopeless romantic, I particularly love George and Mary's love story and wish that dearly for myself, that I could one day lasso the moon, even if begrudgingly. I also felt the sting of George Bailey's regrets growing into despair. seeing him as a good man who didn't deserve his suffering, a man who had done nothing but the right thing only to play into the hands of cruel fate, I prayed the prayers of his family and friends would be heard. After seeing what life was like had George Bailey never been born, my heart leapt with happiness as God granted George's old life back, bringing a happy ending of friends, family, bell rings, new wings, riches, and song. Fast forward 5 years into my early 20s, I remember thinking George Bailey was an economic illiterate who foolishly engaged in fractional reserve banking, and that Pottersville looked like a fun place for a bachelor to live fast and loose, a rip-roaring good time full of booze and women and boozy women, and supplied by the market after being demanded by men being all too men. Upon another watch a few years later, I could see that Frank Capra was obviously a downright dirty commie. His movie just another Hollywood trick to help bolster the class war of the Reds and their quote-unquote progressive fellow travelers. As a 1947 FBI memo states, with regard to the picture It's a Wonderful Life, redacted agent stated in substance that the film represented rather obvious attempts to discredit bankers by casting Lionel Barrymore as a Scrooge type so that he would be the most hated man in the picture. This, according to these sources, is a common trick used by communists. Scrub forward a few years into my early 30s, and I was once again watching the film, this time alone. The charm I once felt had completely faded. I was no longer in love with George and Mary's love story, as I was less a hopeless romantic and more just hopeless. Left on a lonely island of self-imposed exile, I saw George Bailey as a weak wretch of a man who didn't appreciate his own free choices, and thus didn't deserve saving in his discouragement. Those who wish they were never born get what they deserve. More so, whether George Bailey was deserving or not, I felt there was no God, no stars or galaxies watching over us here on earth, and certainly no angel named Clarence coming to save any of us in our regrets. I bristled at the sentimentality and simple-minded appeals to prayer, having seen prayers seemingly answered in my own life by the decay and death of someone I love the most. And when I heard Zuzu's every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings, I felt as though I was a man out in the cold, looking in on a welcoming family warmed by the fire, yet refusing to knock on the door, too proud in my free choice to stand alone in the snow. Now 37 years old, I haven't watched It's a Wonderful Life in years. Yet, as strange as it sounds, the spirit of its story has been watching me, serving me, ministering and guarding me through lonely and loving Christmases past. In many interviews at the time, Capra did not portray it as a holiday film, writes Stephen Cox in a 2006 LA Times column. In fact, he said he saw it as a cinematic remedy to combat what he feared was a growing trend towards atheism and to provide hope to the human spirit. In a moment of possible revisionism decades later, Capra said that he also realized that with the holiday season comes an inherent vulnerability in all humans, and that this uplifting tale might just ride on that sentiment. When's the last time you've seen It's a Wonderful Life? I asked my 89-year-old roommate, my grandfather. Oh, it's been years since I've watched it, he says, but I remember it being a great movie. Well, that's what I'm writing about this week, I said. Would you like to watch it again tonight when I'm done? Sure. Good. I have a feeling I need to watch it again. I think I'll like it more than ever now. Welcome into the program. I'm your host, again, Joey Clark. Troy Carrico here in the studio with me. How you doing today, brother?
Go mid-dog. It's Afrikaans for you.
Oh, man, I didn't even know that.
I'm wearing the Rhodesia shirt today.
Oh, so yeah, be a man among men.
BAS, join the Rhodesian Light Infantry.
So I did, in fact, watch It's a Wonderful Life last night.
That does not shock me at all that you would do that again.
Yeah, no, I read this to him, my grandfather. He's the first,
wonderful.
He gets the first edit, the first draft, and then we watched it. And I have to say, yeah, a lot of the charm came back for me.
Did it?
Oh, yeah.
When was the last time you watched it?
It'd been years.
Really?
Since I was down at the dumps.
Okay, well, there you go.
And yeah, just to see it. I mean, it is a different time, though. And that's a thought that came to me I hadn't thought before. Like, is that America still exist?
Yeah, that's a good question. You know, I was thinking yesterday was Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
I said, And I wrote something out to the guy, to all of you, and I said, let us not forget, like probably a good portion of the country does, their memory about 9/11's faded.
Right.
So how you know about the war?
Well, and I'd forgotten in the movie, there's this huge, like, just part of it that's about the war breaking out. And Harry Bailey is this, he gets the Congressional Medal of Freedom for saving a whole ship of folks. And like,
that was that time. Man.
Yeah. And you see like, oh, those are the people. That movie was made for the people that did that fighting.
Oh, absolutely.
That had to prosecute that war. And also just the home life. Like, I didn't see an electronic device in sight other than maybe Potter's neon signs.
Yeah.
In Potter's.
No distractions.
And it is something about the holidays that brings up ghosts or angels, or brings up also thoughts on the past and life's journeys. And I have to say, it's a reason it's a classic. Apparently that movie had mixed reviews. And indeed, the FBI was like, it's a communist plot. And one guy helped write it, definitely got in crossways with the House Committee on Un-American Activities.
Imagine that.
And as I'm watching, I'm like, yeah, I could see why they think that. I still could see why they think that. But there is this element of just hopefulness. There's this element of like, if you really took the time to take away, if you ever have that thought of, I wish I was never born,
right?
And you really thought about like, okay, what if that you never were? And I think you might go, no, give it back.
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of people would have buyer's remorse for making that trade if they could.
Yeah, and at least this movie has this poignant element. I don't know, what does Elf? Well, yeah, I guess the guy's looking for his real dad.
Yeah, he is. He was looking for his father. But no, there's a classic. It's a classic, and it's you're right. The duality of man is on display the entire thing, the entire show. But isn't that really why we watch or we read? Mm-hmm. We want to be brought back to reality and in our own shells and say it's not unnormal or uncommon. So.
Yeah, no, and I think sometimes a piece of art, whether a movie or song or whatever it is, can be a bit inspired.
Absolutely.
And like it literally inspirited, full of the spirit. And I think whether it was in the commie context or the World War II kind of stuff, there's something about that movie that is truly full of grace.
Does art imitate life, or does life imitate art?
I tend to think life imitates
aesthetics,
art.
Right? We're talking about aesthetics here.
No, I think, you make a copy, you make a type, and people usually end up living up to it. Is there something a movie you've watched over and over again? It usually can tell the generation.
Okay, so here's the deal. There's 3 movies to live by in my book. One is Caddyshack.
Oh,
okay,
absolutely.
The original Caddyshack.
I was born
Danny.
to love you.
Yeah. See, you fit right in with Chevy Chase. I'm more liking Judge Smales going, Danny, there's a lot of badness in the world. I see it every day on the bench. He says, sent boys to the gas chamber younger than you. Didn't want to do it, but felt I owed it to them. Love that line.
Yeah, so do you even keep score? No. How do you measure yourself up to other guys?
By height.
My height.
Hey, my uncle says you got a loose screw. My uncle says you got a loose screw, and he goes, "Your uncle molests collies."
Different era for sure.
That's a good one. And then I think another one that's seminal for me is. I'm sorry, but I'm ruined by Kenneth Branagh's Hamlet.
Hamlet's great.
The redux of Hamlet is probably one of the greatest rebroadcast, re-videoed and remade.
Yeah, full on.
It's just incredible. It's incredible. And what's neat about it is it brings people that maybe don't have that affinity when it's just straight up Shakespeare to once he brings it into play. Robin's like, now I really am interested in it. And so it's just, I think it's magic. And then the other one that I really like, and some people may disagree with me, but my dad was very fond of it. He said it reminded him a lot of Vietnam, was Platoon, Oliver Stone's Platoon. Okay. It's really good with Charlie Sheen in it. Yeah.
Any Christmas movies that you ever, you're not really a Christmas movie guy?
The Island of Misfit Toys. I remember
that. Oh,
yeah,
yeah, with Rudolph.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, we did, I'm going to be honest with you. I watched some old stuff, but I mean, Christmas Story, I like a lot.
Yeah, I think you've got the BB gun right there over your left
yes,
shoulder.
I see it. You'll shoot your eye out.
Yeah, somebody I think got that for Rich Thomas.
Oh my goodness, he might be dangerous with that.
See, and that one that didn't stick for me. That's just not my generation. Like I've seen it, but it didn't. It's like in the leg lamp and all that stuff. Yeah. And then, of course, Christmas Vacation with Chevy Chase.
Yeah. Listen, National Lampoon. Yeah, it's always good.
That one nails it. And then, Elf became a pretty common one, but I don't know. Like there's something
blase. I don't know.
There is something about a movie that is made in 1946.
Yep.
That is, it's just at this point it seems like such a foreign, alien place compared to what America is now. That it kind of can transport you away from wherever you are. Well, I like those old films.
Well, and I think that's interesting because as you described it, that would be maybe a turnoff to a lot of people because they can't identify, but you seem to gravitate to that. And that's wonderful.
Oh, yeah. No, and I do wonder, like, this constant argument over and worry and woe or whatever about, as we talked at the end of last week with Senko about, with the rise of AI. Like, again, when you watch It's a Wonderful Life, there's not an electronic device or distraction really in sight. No. And it's families and it's good old fashioned. Oh, it's fun because somebody jumped in the pool or something. Like, it's just, it does seem like a much more wholesome America. Though I'm not naive enough to think there's some pretty gnarly stuff going on in early 20th century America.
Smoking marijuana in Hollywood.
Yeah. Well, it's also said like the amount of people don't remember when the GIs come back,
man, bro. I'm telling you,
from World War II, it got gnarly.
So here's the deal on that. The Admiral and I talked about this here recently. Think of it this way. So my career, I would go downrange for a year, come back for about 6-9 months, maybe a year, and then go back downrange. Those fellows and those ladies that were in whack and all that, they went for the duration, and it was come home a victor or come home on your shield.
Yeah.
There's no do-over, that's it. And I think so when they came back, they didn't even, they didn't even understand what PTSD was or ATSD until
when they called shell shock.
Right. Shell shock. Right. Yeah. And so, these guys come back and then what? Mom's Rosie the Riveter. She's got a job. The kids are 3 years older now. And where do I fit into this equation? What am I going to do? And they came back, probably drank a lot, and a lot of them killed themselves, man. It's just terrible, terrible. Great Americans.
Well, and I'm trying to think of the Battle of Ballots and Bullets.
Yeah.
Or it could be called the Battle of Athens. This is in 1946, armed confrontation in Athens, Tennessee. And apparently this was like on atlases and road maps at the time.
Yeah.
They literally had a red block around this saying, don't go in there, because they were known for being the most corrupt as hell. Like literally the stuff of like taillights out, break it, your taillights out, pay us off. It was just a protection racket, and you couldn't win because they literally would just not have fair elections.
Sure.
Like they would kill people. They would shoot people. Crazy. Like it was some of the, and so when a lot of the veterans from World War II come back and they realize this is what's running our town, they set up just an independent party to beat the machine, beat the gang running the area. And they get wind that the ballot boxes have been moved to the county jail and were being messed with. So these guys, I think most of them had been in the Pacific region, Pacific Theater. They set up on high ground at a house overlooking the jail, and they whoop the deputies. They whoop the police, and the National Guard's called in, and the National Guard realized, we don't want to fight these guys.
These guys are serious.
And so, for a while, this was not talked about because they were successful, and the feds kind of realized, oh, yeah, these people locally are corrupt as hell. Y'all are fighting for just cause.
Yeah, they're probably like, thanks, we didn't want to do that. Right. I'm glad you did it.
Not till a lot of these guys who did that fighting were on their deathbeds that these stories start coming out. I believe there's a book called The Fighting Bunch. That really documents this in detail. But yeah, it's the last successful true insurrection in the country. Like it was a true insurrectionary battle that these GIs won to overthrow a corrupt local government.
Yeah, that's a heartwarming story.
So, same year as It's a Wonderful Life comes out. So there's the wholesome stuff, but there's don't kid yourself. These were men.
You got to remember too, that generation, that greatest generation, as we celebrated yesterday from Pearl Harbor. Dude, you got to remember, they came out of the Depression. Those people are they're a different breed. Yep. The ones that had to go through the Depression, they're tough and they're almost cold. And it's strange. It's just, you mix those two together, then you've got some serious potential for problems mentally.
Yeah, and when I think about, I was saying it last week, can you imagine if the Japanese are actually more successful at Pearl Harbor? Like they actually take out what, huge fuel depots?
Yeah,
and,
we talked about that last week.
Yeah, and it's like it just turns on a little bit.
A small fraction of fate, favored America with the aircraft carriers being out of port and all that.
Right, and also it is a nation awakened because after the experience in World War I, a lot of people were rightfully like, "I'm not going over to Europe again."
Fight a European war.
Yeah, what is this? It was a waste in a lot of people's minds. So it took actually being attacked in that way, and then you get into all the conspiracies, which I think are kind of true about FDR kind of knew and was egging it on, and I think they were selling planes to the Chinese all sorts of stuff.
For God's sake, we were strangling the Chinese with the Dutch by cutting off their fuel and oil coming out of the Dutch East Indies.
Oh yeah, the oil embargo.
The pinch on it, man.
Oh no, and I think we were selling fighter planes to the Chinese against the Japanese. So yeah, we were kind of like egging it on a little bit.
Of course.
So there's always the real politic behind all this stuff.
The real politic.
Something like
never
that.
goes away.
But as I look at think back to America that is no more, we look at modern day America, and I'm already loving Pete Hegseth coming out. I got the clip saying, "We will not be distracted by regime change." I like that a lot.
That's right.
Pearl clutching over the new conservative populist reporters at the Pentagon. The Guardian is very upset about it. Netanyahu says phase 2 of the Gaza ceasefire is about to begin. And it looks like Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff will have a direct hand in helping to rebuild Gaza. There are going to be peace talks today in London with the Ukrainians. Trump was complaining over the weekend Zelensky hasn't even read the proposal. Elon Musk said just over the weekend, the EU should be abolished.
I saw that. That was fine.
And the EU account on X was just deleted. Good. And in other parts of the world, tsunami alert, 7.6 magnitude earthquake strikes off the coast of northern Japan, I believe.
Yeah.
And I think they're looking at like a 10-foot wall of water.
I think Godzilla's going to be coming up soon in Tokyo Harbor, man.
Never been in a situation like that. Paramount's now going to launch a hostile buyout offer for Warner, HBO, CNN. Well, folks might be screaming, antitrust, antitrust. Got some great stories from J.D. Vance about being in the White House. You've got Tom Homan talking about the amount of children they've now saved and found that were missing some in the worst circumstances. Of course, the AI beat continues with Georgia now complaining, Georgia Power, saying that, well, we need more capacity if we're going to have these data centers. And then Doug Burgum, Secretary of Interior for the Trump administration, saying it's not the power, it's not the data centers. It's that y'all have had crappy energy policies for a long, long time. Like the Northeast is 3x what the Dakotas are.
Right.
And look at, especially Alabama being the most expensive, I believe, in the Southeast.
It is.
This has much more to do with controlling supply and not actually just letting it rip.
Poor management and oversight and actually soaking your customers.
And here locally in Montgomery, the city council to vote on a $5.5 million downtown real estate deal for a convention center taking over the old Montgomery Advertiser building. And a lot of questions there. Do we have the money for it? And will that actually be the price tag? I've said convention center ain't the worst idea in the world, but is this what's this going to cost?
Yeah.
How this going to go?
Truth in lending. And
I suspect they have the votes though. The Islamic Academy of Alabama withdraws application for their new Hoover location.
I figured they would.
After losing a few times at that, they are saying, okay, well, we'll not try anymore. One thing that really caught me off guard to a degree, is that Trump put out this message today. Official White House letterhead, all this stuff. Today, I recognize every American celebrating December 8th as a holy day, honoring the faith, humility, and love of Mary, mother of Jesus, and one of the greatest figures in the Bible. On the Feast of the Immaculate Conception, Catholics celebrate what they believe to be Mary's freedom from original sin as the mother of God. She first entered recorded history as a young woman when, according to Holy Scripture, the angel Gabriel greeted her in the village of Nazareth with the news of a miracle. Hail, favored one, the Lord is with you, announcing that you will conceive in your womb and bear a son, and you shall name him Jesus. In one of the most profound and consequential acts of history, Mary heroically accepted God's will with trust and humility. Behold, I am the handmaid of the Lord. May it be done to me according to your word. Mary's decision forever altered the course of humanity. 9 months later, God became man when Mary gave birth to a son, Jesus, who would go on to offer his life on the cross for the redemption of sins and the salvation of the world. Again, this is from the White House, folks. For nearly 250 years, Mary has played a distinct role in our great American story. In 1792, less than a decade after the end of the Revolutionary War, Bishop John Carroll, the first Catholic bishop in the United States and cousin of signer of the Declaration of Independence, Charles Carroll, consecrated our young nation to the Mother of Christ. Less than a quarter century later, Catholics attributed General Andrew Jackson's stunning victory over the British in the climactic Battle of New Orleans to Mary. Every year, Catholics celebrate a Mass of Thanksgiving in New Orleans on January 8th in memory of Mary's assistance in saving the city. Over the ages, American legends like Elizabeth Ann Seton, Francis Xavier Cabrini, and Fulton Sheen, who spent their lives glorifying God in service to others, have held a deep devotion to Mary. The Basilica of the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception, located in the heart of our nation's capital, honors Mary as the largest church in North America. The timeless hymn Ave Maria remains beloved by countless citizens. She has inspired the establishment of countless churches, hospitals, and schools. Nearly 50 American colleges and universities bear Mary's name. And just days from now, on December 12th, Catholics in the United States and Mexico will celebrate the steadfast devotion to Mary that originated in the heart of Mexico, a place now home to the beautiful Basilica of Our Lady of Guadalupe in 1531. As we approach 250 years of glorious American independence, we acknowledge and give thanks with total gratitude for Mary's role in advancing peace, hope, and love in America and beyond our shores. More than a century ago, in the midst of World War I, Pope Benedict the 15th, the leader of the Roman Catholic Church, commissioned and dedicated a majestic statue of Mary, Queen of Peace, bearing the infant Christ with an olive branch, so that the Christian faith would be encouraged to look to her example of peace by praying for a stop to the horrific slaughter. Just a few months later, World War I ended. Today, we look to Mary once again for inspiration and encouragement as we pray for an end to war and for a new and lasting era of peace, prosperity, and harmony in Europe and throughout the world. In her honor, again, this is directly from the White House, in her honor, and on a day so special to our Catholic citizens, we remember the sacred words that have brought aid, comfort, and support to generations of American believers in times of need. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
As the holiday season approaches, don't be the husband your mother-in-law thinks you are. She's expecting you to mess up again this year and purchase another vacuum for her daughter. Prove her wrong with a gift certificate from AMS Studios. Always the perfect fit. Your mother-in-law will be slightly jealous and have to admit she's been wrong about you. If you really want to get under her skin, purchase a Morpheus 8 package for her. It's a win-win for everyone. AMS Studios, the River Region's premier med spa, where all mother-in-laws are welcome.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking with a prospector.
That's right, man. I'm prospecting for gold. You dig?
No, but it looks like you do.
And you know the first thing I'm going to do when I strike it rich?
What's that?
I'm going to hire David Ernest to be my money man.
You mean everyone's favorite asset preservationist?
That is correct, man. I'm going to call him up at 833-596-7233. 833-596-SAFE.
You know, I've heard a lot of good things about David Ernest.
You know, he's the best money man around with over 40 years of experience.
Experience is necessary, especially when you're digging for gold.
That's right, man.
And I can see that you don't have very much experience.
What do you mean, man?
Well, you have the little plastic bucket and shovel like a kid would take to the beach.
Yeah, man. Well, I want to start out small and then kind of pace myself up until I strike it rich.
Well, maybe you should call David Ernest first.
You think he's got a shovel?
Never know till you ask.
I dig, man.
Between wrapping, decorating, and searching for those elusive scissors, you're spending a lot of time crawling around on your floors. Be honest. How's it looking down there? If it's not great, give your floors a glow up before the relatives show up during Prattville Carpet's holiday sale. With tile, luxury vinyl plank, and carpet starting at just $1.39 a square foot. That's less than the batteries you'll burn through on Christmas morning.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. Call us today for your free measurement. Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
Deck your floors this holiday season. Shop PrattvilleCarpet.com.
Hey guys, this is Todd Clark with River Region Contracting, your premier roofing contractor in Central Alabama. So remember the name, River Region Contracting, for all your roofing needs. We're not affiliated with any other roofing company in the River Region. We've been in the roofing business since 2005. We don't have to buy our leads, and we don't have to knock on doors when the storms come around. We have thousands of satisfied customers throughout Central Alabama. So call us at 334-356-8635. That's 334-356-8635.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from your local Roto-Rooter. The Tears family extends best wishes to all those in the River Region this holiday season. Don't let plumbing issues turn your celebrations into a lump of coal. Roto-Rooter is a phone call or a click away for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 272-7130, or online at rotorooteralabama.com. And remember,
call Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter, Roto-Rooter.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by McPhillips Schimbaum.
My name is Aaron Luck, a partner with the law firm of McPhillips Schimbaum. If you or someone in your family has been seriously injured by the negligence of someone else, call me directly.
262-1911. Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Hang on. There's some better weather news in our future, at least in the short term. Today, gradually, we will work our way into sunshine with a high temperature only up to about 54. Mostly clear. A cold one tonight. Overnight low temperature down to about freezing by dawn. Tuesday will look nice with plenty of sunshine, high in the mid-50s. More sun, a little warmer. Wednesday, high 64. That's actually close to normal. Thursday's high 68. That's the warmest day of the week with widely scattered showers possible. And before this week is over, another Arctic plunge. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
CB&S Bank has digital banking solutions to help you keep up. Check balances, pay bills, and much more. Learn more at cbsbank.com. Charges and fees may apply from your cellular service provider. Contact your service provider for information. Member FDIC.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones at 272-9228 and talk to Simpler Days. Hey, Simpler Days, how you doing?
Hey, gentlemen.
Hello.
I thought that was pretty enlightening, the way you explained how you perceived It's a Wonderful Life at different points in your life. I think that was pretty neat.
Well, thank you.
I wonder how many people would relate more with someone in their life or someone they worked with Scrooge than they would George Bailey.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. There are a few Potters running around this world, rolling around this world. Yeah. Guy doesn't even stand for the pledge.
Hey, talking about movies in the World War II era, I think a good one would be The Summer of 42.
That's a really good one. And the other is the best. What is it? The best. Do you remember what Colonel Holland talked to you about the night up at the shop? The best years of our lives, or what is it? It's a really tragic story, but yes, Summer 42 is good.
I've not seen.
It's called the best. No, I got to find it. Simpler Days. A good friend of mine who is he's a former B-52 pilot and just an enthusiast of military history. He swears by this movie for World War II called and it has it has the missing amputee guy in it.
Best years of our lives.
Best years of our lives. Yeah.
Best year of our life. Yeah.
They say that's a good one too.
Joey, every young adolescent male should watch The Summer of 42.
Amen.
It puts that war in perspective about the collateral damage from it. And But shifting gears, I know our mayor wants to get a semi-pro basketball team downtown in the worst way. So I guess this is the launching point.
Right. Speak of also a great movie, Semi-Pro. A stupid movie. But,
hockey movie. Great hockey movie.
Freaking love that movie. Anyway. But yeah, I think you're onto something there.
Y'all have a good day.
You
All
too.
right, thank you.
Yeah, that movie is a sleeper Will Ferrell movie.
Man.
There's lines I can't repeat, but the one announcer is the straight guy, whatever the straight man announcer, freaking hilarious. Makes me laugh so hard. Yeah, I think the convention center is not the worst thing, and I believe from my little bit of research, they do have the votes on this.
I'm sure they do.
I just worry about any sort of big project. Is it going to be what it actually? Usually, I will just discount what they say the number is going to be, and it'll be a little higher.
Well, probably
if not double,
33% to 50% at least.
Especially if you start talk about that site and like environmental impact studies and all sorts of stuff. Given all the chemicals that have been put in the ground.
I don't think this current administration has shown the moxie and or the skill set necessary to adequately manage such a project. I think I would be very concerned.
Well, the mayor was saying crime is down, but that's according to MPD.
Okay.
So I'm sure nobody. It's all on the up and up, right? All on the up and up.
I'm still rolling like Judge Dredd.
And thank God that nobody got injured. But there was apparently a shooting incident at Eastdale Mall.
I heard something about that. Some shots were fired.
Thank God, again, nobody got hurt. But I remember going to them all the time.
Sure.
That's the place I'd go see Santa when I was a kid. And the ice skating rink over there. And and I used to enjoy kind of just wasting a little bit of a Saturday morning just walking around. Walk around, go into Spencer, see what sort of sex toys they have.
Yeah, all that weird. How are you guys pulling this off?
Maybe I should get another Pulp Fiction poster.
What is this pole? Oh, it's a portable stripper pole.
Nice. I really want a lava lamp, Dad.
Yeah. What is that thing that makes a noise?
And then he goes hang out with the goth girls at Hot Topic.
Yeah, right. And
and pretend you listen to the same music.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and then get a pretzel or get a big old cookie cake or whatever.
Yeah, from what was it? The Great American Cookie Company.
Yeah, I think that's still there. I think Cinnabon's still there.
And they had the pretzel. Did they have the pretzel place there?
Oh yeah.
Good
stuff.
Yeah, good stuff.
And then last time I went though, how many damn shoe stores, especially secondhand shoe stores, do we have? Though I saw a headline the other day that market's going into the tank. That people aren't paying the same amount of money for classic Jordans.
I didn't even know that there was a really booming market for it. So
no, you walk around like, how many shoe stores do we have here anyway? It just kind of makes me go, this is why, because you start to get the feeling, and you don't want to be like, well, it's fine, it's my city, and it's where I grew up, and I remember going to East Elm all the time.
It was great.
Grandma used to work there at Chick-fil-A, or she worked at Dillard's, and she'd go over to Chick-fil-A all the time. Get a slice of Sbarro over there. Yeah. And then you go by there, and I just get the feeling of like, well, most folks here, the vast majority are fine, but there is a sense of like, this is not the safest spot on earth.
It's not a place for law-abiding citizens.
Yeah, what a mess. And you hate to even think that way, but the creep is real.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that creep.
Is the food court even open over there?
I haven't been there in a second. I think there's some stuff still in there, but also generally speaking, malls are kind of
they're down. Well, they were, and now they say they're making a comeback. So certain areas it's been booming.
I mean, East Chase is certainly packed out for the holiday rush.
But Joey,
I don't love East Chase.
That mall you got Dillard's, and then what else you got? You got H&M. You've got a few other things there. There's nothing there.
You got Sephora.
Yeah,
and for all the ladies.
But you can go to Ulta for that too.
All right. You got some restaurants over there.
Yeah, well, they Blackfin, a couple of them closed.
Firebirds, I think.
Firebirds are still there, and and then also it's Bonefish Grill but
it's all right.
Bad.
And then I guess in the back end of East Chase, you got a lot of restaurants still hopping.
That little round
Bad Daddy Burger and there's no hot chicken place.
You ever ate a Round Robin
or Red Robin?
It's been years. It's been hamburger
I've ever
gone.
It's
not that good. It's not that good.
Give me Five Guys all day, every day. And Bad Daddy Burger Bar ain't bad either. But Five Guys Smash Burger, it's hard to beat any of that. But Walk-On's a good spot. There's a lot happening over there. But in terms of shopping, I'm like, Yeah, you can go into Dillard's and get some new pants.
So,
but, you know,
I think you're going to find this to be interesting. I thought about you when I was eating it. Robin had a procedure for her injection in her back the other day on Thursday.
Yeah.
So she was a little loopy from the local. She goes, I'm hungry. Let's eat somewhere. She goes, let's go to Cracker Barrel. Yes, Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
So we go to Cracker Barrel. Listen to this. They had a burger called the Hangover Breakfast Burger.
Yeah.
And it had... It was biscuits with a half pound of sirloin beef.
Good God.
Fried eggs, hash browns, and gravy on it.
Oh my goodness.
And it was my heart hurt so good when I was eating it. You would love it. It was outstanding.
That sounds really, really, really good. I'm back on my regimen after having a fun weekend.
That's okay.
But yeah, just 3 eggs sunny side up, one piece of grilled and buttered sourdough toast, and a couple cups of Greek yogurt. I'm all right. Get my protein in.
That's right.
And I'm living all right. Anyway, there's plenty more to get to today.
A lot.
Indeed, a lot. In one area, I want to check, though, real quick.
Yes.
There are so many people butthurt. And after I give that nod to the Catholics by reading that presidential message about the Feast of the Immaculate Conception, I got to turn around and go, all sorts of Catholics so butthurt today. Why is Alabama allowed into the playoff? And
you talk about Notre Dame. Notre frickin' Dame.
Yeah, they weren't in them. They're not in the playoff.
Let's see. So you don't want to be in a conference. They didn't join the Big Ten because they were worried about getting beat. They halfway joined the ACC, but guess what? Sorry, you don't get the privilege of playing for a championship in your conference. So you did your body of work sucks.
And Caleb Taylor over at 1819 News. I love this headline.
What he did.
Whining Irish.
The whining Irish.
Notre Dame fans vent about missing the college football playoff. Alabama getting in. This playoff is a farce.
And then they back out. So we're not even going to the Pop-Tart Bowl.
After a strong finish for the season for Notre Dame, coupled with Alabama getting trounced by Georgia. Yeah, I started watching the SEC championship.
That was a beatdown.
And as soon as it was like 21-0, I'm like, I'm going to check something else. And then let's see if it gets a little bit. Nope, they're getting whooped. And I did tune back in when Bama looked like they had some life in them. It was what, 28-7?
Yeah, 27. But
21-7.
21-7.
And then they screwed it up. So, but Notre Dame responded, saying on December the 7th, as a team, we've decided to withdraw our name from consideration for a bowl game following the 2025 season. Wow.
They were supposed to be going to the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Notre Dame fans on social media also expressed their displeasure with the selection committee's decision. One guy named Charlie said on X, people hate Notre Dame. This is a classic take from today, not based on evidence. Notre Dame has a stronger schedule than Miami, ranked higher than both Bama and Miami by computers. Vegas odds at Notre Dame at 98% for making the playoff this morning. People hate Notre Dame. That's it. That's the story.
The fact that you're even being talked about means that people love Notre Dame, and NBC loves Notre Dame because it's the Notre Dame Broadcasting Network.
The fact that Bama made the playoff after being utterly humiliated like that last night is ample reason for Notre Dame to sit it out. Nothing but pure SEC bias. This playoff is a farce, said some dude named David. And another guy saying this college football playoff had Notre Dame ranked above Miami for weeks. Neither team was a conference champion, and Notre Dame went 10-0 after two close losses to Miami and A&M. Sure, Bama beat Georgia, but they also got obliterated by them last night, and OU fumbled their way in. The committee is a joke. So we've expanded it and expanded and expanded, and still people aren't happy.
It's okay.
Anyway, Dick Vitale even joked. Remember this guy?
Dickie V.
Absolutely a
Diaper
joke
Dandy.
that Notre Dame is not part of the playoff. The Irish have dominated 10 in a row after a heartbreaking 1-point loss to Aggie football. What football is the committee watching? Somebody tell me, please.
I'll tell you, I'm a huge fan of Marcus Freeman, their head coach. He's a high state guy. He's probably going to be one of the more successful African-American coaches, and he's got his stuff together. That guy is lights out.
So Alabama still has a chance, but after
so
that
you're
performance,
saying I still have a chance.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like one in a million.
Dude. Let her go, dude. It's over.
But they still got a chance. They did look abysmal against Georgia, though. Like not a team on hitting on all cylinders by any means.
The Simpson, the quarterback, looked kind of gimpy. a little bit to me, man.
No, and they were showing some life, down only 14 driving, and they decided to throw like to the far side of the field this out route, and he just sails it over into the sidelines. It's like if that's your go-to play and you do that, that's a bad sign for your quarterback.
Didn't look good.
Anyway, got to hit a break here. First, this is part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. It's getting chilly out there.
It really is.
You got any more birds trying to get into your place?
What I got is we have a barn cat now that showed up, so he stays in there. But there's possums that come in. I've dispatched 3 possums with the rifles, but I would much rather have a maintenance plan with Pest Pro. They take care of it. You ain't got to get the blood cleaned up after you shoot them.
Exactly. Well, they can seal off all these access points and prevent any re-entry, prevent any of this in the first place. And if you do have a problem with a little critter in there, possum, squirrel, mice, rats, birds, even snakes, God forbid,
they do come in. They're looking for warmth.
Yeah, I know.
And I found a 6-foot-long rattlesnake skin out in our back of our yard going down to the barn. Robin goes, I don't want that.
Don't want to mess with those. So if you're looking for wildlife control service, get by Pest Pro Services. At least get in touch with them. They can take care of it for you. You can always learn more at ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces, very active Facebook page. And of course, you can always call them direct. 265-9990. That's 265-9990. When you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro Services, and be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joey and Troy, those fellas on the radio, sent you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Want that ride that is fun, affordable, and street legal? Check out ETG Outdoors in Montgomery. They have huge discounts on electric golf carts with many brand new units under 10 grand. New and used inventory, financing available, and they service what they sell. ETG Outdoors even provides lithium battery conversions and free delivery with purchase. Whether it's for the neighborhood, the farm, or just fun, ETG Outdoors, 7006 Vaughn Road, or online at etgoutdoors.com. Cruise smarter, drive electric. ETG Outdoors, your ride to freedom starts here.
The River Region's News Talk station. News Talk 93.1, WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Austin Barenko with Invista Advisors. Hey, Austin, how you doing today?
Joey, I'm having a great Monday for a lot of reasons, but 2 of them you guys have already hit on. Today is the solemnity of the Immaculate Conception. As a Catholic, started my day in Mass, and that was very good for the soul. And then also the Alabama Crimson Tide getting into the playoffs. As a Bama grad, I'm pumped about that too. So it's a good Monday so far.
Very good Monday.
Possibly go wrong.
Well, yeah. And let's talk about what happened with SpaceX. What a play.
Yeah. So you and I were in studio, I don't know, a month or 2 ago, and I had just gotten back from that New York trip where the purpose of me going up was to try to get access to SpaceX. It's privately traded, but there is a fund company that has a large stake in it, and we were making some connections to get access to SpaceX, through this fund, which we were able to execute on. And on Friday, SpaceX was revalued at around $800 billion, which is double its previous valuation.
Wow!
And these private companies take steps to go public, and I think eventually they probably will IPO. Elon's not a big fan of giving up control, and going public is the ultimate way to relinquish control. You have to do quarterly reporting with an annual K report. And, that's tough for someone who's used to, pulling levers at will. But all in all, there's no doubt that the double in valuation on SpaceX is huge for us. And the whole theme that I had talked about that day, which is he's putting people together. If you look back through history, the people that get the wealthiest and create the most value are the people that connect humanity. So, you had the railway system. That was a huge boom for the United States. Then you had kind of the dot-com era and Bill Gates connecting people with the internet. Then you have Zuckerberg creating Facebook. Well, it's my conviction that Musk putting Starlink into space and connecting broadband to people in third world countries is kind of that next step for connecting humanity. And that play, it bore fruit on Friday, which I was excited about.
That's really cool. And then I don't know if you caught, this is more way down the road, but like Jensen of NVIDIA sitting down with Musk, and they're talking about, well, actually data centers on the ground don't make as much sense as data centers up in orbit. We can get direct sunlight and just beam that back down. So, I mean, it looks like there is just long-term potential there. And SpaceX, I mean, they're the most reliable rocket to throw something up there in orbit.
Well, absolutely. And really what's important with that story of data centers in space is the energy discussion. You're closer to the sun, you can draw in a ton of solar energy, but at the same time, these data centers put off so much heat. There's sub-zero temperatures in space. And so, you solve both problems at once. You get energy from the sun, the output of heat is mitigated by the temperatures in space. The only thing I would caution is somebody who is playing that game, the build out of the infrastructure in space, I believe, is a 10-year window.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, energy is the name of the game. The biggest energy sources that you're probably going to hear about over the next 2 to 3 years are going to be liquid natural gas and nuclear.
Yes.
And it takes about 3 to 5 years to bring a nuclear plant online. And liquid natural gas is the only short-term alternative right now. So until we can build out solar infrastructure in space, I think you're going to see most of the energy plays over the next 3 to 5 years being liquid natural gas and nuclear.
Now let's tell folks about Invista Advisors and what y'all can do for people.
Yeah, so we're a registered investment advisory, and we specialize in wealth management. But we always lead with a plan. So, anyone out there that's listening that doesn't have a financial plan or has never had a professional review their finances and recommend a plan, we'd love to hear from you. We'll build you a plan, make recommendations on, suitable investment options for you and build for the future.
Folks, just check them out today. You can always learn more at vistaadvisors.com, but I say just call them direct and get the conversation going at 387-0094. Again, that's 387-0094. And be sure to say, hey, I heard Austin Branco on that radio show with Joey Clark.
Awesome. Thank you, Joe. And you guys have a great week.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it, Austin. You too. Again, folks, that's Austin Branco with Invista Advisors.
The opinions voiced in this material are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance referenced is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions expressed in this material do not necessarily reflect the views of LPL Financial. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice is offered through Invista Advisors, registered investment advisor, and separate entity from LPL Financial.
Now, I got topics for everything, Troy,
What you
and
got?
keeping this conversation going about energy. This is the Secretary of Interior, Doug Burgum,
Right.
who I like very much. He just seems like a straight shooter, like pretty sound business dude. And his take on electricity costs.
Yep.
And because I've got another story where people are fighting AI data centers in Georgia.
Right.
We've had this conversation in Alabama, like, why are the rates so high? And the freeze ain't enough Alabama power, with all due respect. But here's Doug Burgum explaining his perspective on this.
Electricity costs 3 times as much in New England as it does in North Dakota. That is not because of data centers. That's because of policies. A lot of the higher prices that you're seeing are not related to the AI data centers. A lot of the data centers are going to be off the grid, behind the meter, and then adding more energy, and then putting some of that energy onto the grid. So we could be actually increasing the supply in some of those areas where we've got increased pricing. It's because of the policies they pursued the last 5 years of having unreliable, intermittent, and highly subsidized projects.
Oh, you mean like the green crap?
Including
exactly
things like
right.
offshore wind, where people were spending $11 billion to create 1 gigawatt of intermittent, versus spending $1 or $2 billion to create 1 gigawatt of assured 7 by 24-hour power. So the policy choices of the last 5 years, driven by sometimes climate extremists, were the ones that are driving up the prices that you're seeing. Electricity.
And it's interesting that like the scapegoating the AI place. Now, I'd imagine there are going to be some data centers where it won't be behind the meter, as he said, and off grid.
Right. But I also think one of the things that's a wild card here, and Austin's right, it can be done in 3 to 5 years, depending if they're using the SALT style reactors. But here's the deal. There are micro reactors.
Yes.
A lot of micro reactors that DARPA has been pumping out. Man, you could see where, for instance, in certain networks and critical junctures of our critical energy grid, where you inject them into that to help take some of the load off. But load balancing, it's all about load balancing.
Oh, yeah. But the idea that the military's pretty much perfected this.
The Navy's been doing it since 1952.
Right. So what
no incidents.
Well, and a lot of
one.
it is, I give credit to Vivek Ramaswamy pointing out the Nuclear Regulatory Commission is ridiculous.
It is bizarre.
That's why we haven't built anything.
It's so prohibitive to do anything. But, if you're a green, or for any of you listeners out there that are truly environmentally conscious, if you don't support nuclear power, then you're a heretic in my book.
Amen. Well, second hour coming up.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. The Supreme Court heard arguments today in a case that could redefine presidential authority over independent federal agencies. The dispute arose after former President Trump removed an FTC commissioner without citing statutory grounds. A ruling for Mr. Trump would strengthen the unitary executive theory and allow presidents to dismiss commissioners freely, potentially reshaping governance across dozens of federal agencies. President Trump is expressing frustration with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, saying he was, in his words, a little bit disappointed that Zelensky hasn't read the latest U.S. peace plan. The president expected to announce a $12 billion farm aid package today. It would be aimed at offsetting losses from tariffs and falling crop prices. The plan featured direct payments to farmers under a new USDA program. On Wall Street, all the major indexes down. The Dow is off about 200 points. This is SRN News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-366-6161. That's 800-366-6161. 800-366-6161.
Thomas Weather is brought to you by Clark Heating, Air, and Plumbing. At Clark, they always offer 60 months free financing on Bryant, their highest SEER-rated system. But for a short time, they're offering 0% for 60 months on all brands. For all of your heating, air, and plumbing needs, better call Clark. Alabama certification number 09098.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Hang on. There's some better weather news in our future, at least in the short term. Today, gradually, we will work our way into sunshine with a high temperature only up to about 54. Mostly clear. A cold one tonight. Overnight low temperature down to about freezing by dawn. Tuesday will look nice with plenty of sunshine, high in the mid-50s. More sun, a little warmer. Wednesday, high 64. That's actually close to normal. Thursday's high 68. That's the warmest day of the week with widely scattered showers possible. And before this week is over, another Arctic plunge. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Brighten your holidays with ASE Credit Union. Enjoy the season stress-free with our special holiday loans. Visit us or call today to learn more. ASE Credit Union, your ASECU.com, 334-270-9011. Terms and conditions apply, federally insured by NCUA.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. Montgomery police have made an arrest in a fatal shooting from last month. The shooting happened November 28th, just off Woodley Road in the 2600 block of Sherwood Court, where 28-year-old Adisha Robbins was found dead from a gunshot wound. 31-year-old Command Johnson has been charged with capital murder in the case. The murder is believed to be domestic related. Two longtime in-state rivals will square off in the IS-4S Salute to Veterans Bowl to be played in Montgomery. The Jacksonville State Gamecocks will take on the Troy Trojans on Tuesday, December 16th at historic Crampton Bowl. The game will be nationally televised on ESPN. Kickoff is set for 8 p.m. Montgomery County will be hosting its second annual Christmas tree lighting ceremony tomorrow. The event takes place at the Phelps Price Justice Center on South Lawrence Street beginning at 6 p.m. The family-friendly Christmas tree lighting festivities include holiday music and complimentary hot chocolate. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Hi, this is Jeff Mallinson with Georgia Floors Direct, and I want to talk to you about Blue Water Broadcast and how they've helped my business spread the word. As every small business owner, I have to look at my advertising dollars carefully, and Blue Water Broadcast helps me get the most for every dollar I spend. I'm so glad to be a part of Blue Water Broadcasting and what they bring to Montgomery.
Blue Water Broadcasting is the #1 most listened to radio group in the River region. Find out how to put this reach to work for your business. Call us to find out how we can help. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
I bought your Christmas present, and it's custom so you can't return it.
What is it? Where'd you get it?
Delta Printing. I ordered monogrammed wine glasses for my sister, photo ornaments for Grandma's tree. I also got Mom custom table linens and printed your face on golf balls for your brother.
Delta can do all that? I thought they were just business printing and signs.
Nope. Delta Printing and Sign can do it all.
Delta Printing and Sign. Your one stop for Christmas cards, custom gifts, business cards, and more. Visit letdeltadoit.com. or call 271-COPY.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Troy Carrico here in the studio.
Hola.
And I'm looking at the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth. This is just a short clip from the Reagan National Defense Forum at the Reagan Foundation.
The War Department will not be distracted by democracy building, interventionism, undefined wars, regime change, climate change, woke moralizing, and feckless nation building.
Feckless.
We will instead put our nation's practical, concrete interests first.
Machiavelli.
We will deter war. We will advance our interests. We will defend our people. Peace is our goal. And in service of that objective, we will always be ready to fight and win decisively if called upon.
And I've got more of what Hegseth said here quoted in front of me.
All right.
He goes on to say, as part of this mission, we are asking American taxpayers to fund the world's greatest military. We're asking mothers and fathers across America to trust us with their most precious resource, their sons and daughters. And we will honor their trust and their sacrifice. We've been able to restore America's greatness after years of suffering under the so-called bipartisan consensus, which is really just a euphemism for disastrous foreign policy. And then this next little paragraph I love so much, saying this generation of self-proclaimed neo-Reaganites abandoned Reagan's actual wise policies in favor of unchecked neoconservatism and economic globalism. In economics, they dismantled our industrial base, shipping it overseas. At the same time, in diplomacy and defense, they swore off the flexible realism of Reagan, Nixon, and Eisenhower. Instead, they set about trying to make America the policeman, the protector, the arbiter of the whole world, democracy for all, they said, even in the Perch River Valley, even when people don't want it. They turned American allies into dependents, all but encouraging these nations across Europe and around the world to free ride while we subsidize their defense with U.S. taxpayer dollars. Dadgum, I love that message right there.
Spot on, man.
That's so
It's
fantastic.
About 30 years overdue.
Well, especially when I see somebody like not to pick on him too much, but like a Mike Pence saying, I believe in what Reagan believed in. It's like, no, you don't.
No, you don't.
And that's what's so frustrating is Reagan did build up the military.
Oh, he did.
Massively.
But you have to remember the context of why he was doing that at the same time, too.
And the shame was that the people kind of working more under George H.W. Bush, your Cheneys,
they were profiting from it.
Your Rumsfeld was back then too, as well, and they were all ready to use all that stuff. So what do you know? As soon as like the first Gulf War happens, and by the way, this is where anti-war like libertarians come in handy, because nobody knows the alternative like possibilities that could have happened. When you go listen to say somebody like a Scott Horton about like the whole lead up, everything going on. Why did Saddam invade Kuwait thinking he could get away with it? Maybe it was because there were kind of mixed signals being sent.
There were.
Right. So, like, it's interesting how a lot of these, even the wars where we whooped butt and seemed to be like, oh, that was easy.
Yeah.
But that first war leads to what? A perpetual no-fly zone to the second one
Operation
there.
Desert Fox, and it went on and on. And here's the thing about it, and I honestly believe this with all my heart. There was a lot of money made in that first Gulf War. And guess what? Got to keep the gravy train rolling, brother.
Yep.
Got to keep the gravy train rolling.
So Hegseth continued to go on. In his speech, he focused on comparisons to Reagan and his notion of peace through strength. The same phrase the Trump administration uses to summarize their defense posture. This Reagan comparison, however, took to task the neocon warmongers as Republican hawks, as Hegseth put it. He also criticized the military-industrial complex, compromised the revolving doors, to your point, between government positions and defense lobbyists that has for decades encouraged foreign conflict and made money by expending America's blood and treasure. Hegseth outlined a plan to build up America's defenses so other countries perceive them as insurmountable and forego war. He also laid out a shift that means the historically top defense manufacturers, referred to as primes, would not necessarily be a shoe-in for military contracts anymore. And I believe I saw a clip of him saying, we're not going to do the cost plus thing anymore. And we're just going to do it at cost. And from our conversation with Cinco last week,
the procurement system's broken, Joey.
Amen.
It has to be fixed.
Absolutely.
It has to be fast lined.
Yeah, if this all actually goes into effect, it'd be a major change in Washington. By the way, you wonder why all the negative stories about Pete Hegseth. Because
he's shaking up the system, dude. He is threatening. He's threatening the MIC.
And maybe second only to the intelligence community. Yeah. The Pentagon knows how to go to work on somebody in the court of public opinion.
And all those populist reporters they have now taking away the badges from all the Guardian and all the Mirror and all that crap.
Here, let me keep going because I want to get to that in a second.
Yeah.
But this in particular, one overt reprimand of the prime military contractors. Some of the attendees might have jeered if the event tone were not so cordial. Here's the quote from Hegseth, Secretary of War. The bottom line is a historic generational and transformational change that we will implement and will move us from the current prime contractor dominated system defined by limited competition, vendor lock, cost plus contracts, stressed budgets, and frustrating protests to a future powered by dynamic vendor space that accelerates production by combining investment at a commercial pace with uniquely American ability to scale and scale quickly, all at the speed of urgency.
And there's one thing in there that he didn't even mention that's probably, in my opinion, from my experience working with Lockheed, working with General Dynamics, working with British Aerospace, BAE, don't matter who it is, Sikorsky, The modification portion of the contract is what costs the taxpayers a lot. They get into the project and they go, oh, you know what? Because there's a built-in 25% buffer there, and they come right back on it and they extend the timeline and they want more money.
Yep.
You get rid of that prime setup plus cost, you're good to go.
Now let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Yes, Papa B.
Hey, Papa B. How you doing?
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Troy, I really like the idea of offense-only kind of strategy. I've been, not that I'm any kind of military guy, but the idea that I want to be able to help folks. Okay, I know we all do.
Yep.
But the idea that we can go in there and just royally kick somebody's butt and tell them, if you try it again, we're coming back. We're not going to nation build. We're not going to do anything, but just try it again and just keep doing it. Well, I mean, it worked with the Houthi. Okay. They said, I mean, Trump himself said the Houthis don't want to shoot at our ship.
That's right. That's right. Well, Papa B, this is the truth. If I'm going to kick your butt, I'm not going to tell you I'm just going to come in here and knock your teeth down your throat, right? And the thing is, that's what you do. And that's what Machiavelli and what I've written about, many opinion pieces on this, that it's time that America took the mantle of what is rightfully theirs, and that is to set the table. Weaker nations do not make demands of us. We tell them what's going to happen. That doesn't mean we're going to go exploit them. It means we are not going to placate anymore,
right?
Because it's not.
We're not going to allow these free riders anymore.
And I mean, I would just say this to Joey. Joey, I know you poor, naive pilgrim. I swear. I'm sorry that there are bad people in this world. I really am. But there's nothing we can do about that. It's been that way from the beginning of time. So when there are bad people doing bad things, some good somebody has got to go in there and do some bad things to those bad people.
That's right.
To stop them from doing it.
But isn't this just completely at odds what I read by the Secretary of War?
No.
Isn't this at odds of what I just laid out from the Secretary of War? And that was how all this is sold, that we have to go in and stop the bad people. And then, there are more new bad people.
You're making the case that we shouldn't do that with the Nigerian Christians, last week.
With the U.S. government, yeah.
No, that's my job. Papa B, I'm putting together a military force for that.
I know.
It's going to be the poor soldiers of Christ, Bo Andrews.
Right. Well, I told you I would donate a barrel.
I know you did, and we'll gladly take that off your hands.
Look, I mean, Joey.
And what you just said to me cuts against your point, too. If there's always bad guys, then when does it ever end? The point should be to deter the bad guys.
Yep.
And that we can't solve every problem under the sun.
Until the kingdom comes, we're not going to solve all the problems. I'm sorry.
You're probably right.
But anyway, look, Joey, do I have time for just one more quick
Of course.
point? I mean, I'm going to try. Okay.
You're on a roll.
All right. So I cannot go on this year. I got to get it done this year to say this. Okay. When you see a psyop that was so beautifully run by Trump, you have to go ahead and say something about it. Okay. And Troy, you know yourself, the way you can tell a psyop was run correctly was that nobody knows, not even the people that it was done unto.
This is true.
Realize
that's a real psyop. Yeah.
Just how bad it is for them. Okay. So, of course, earlier this year we had Doge running strong. Oh, everybody was loving this Trump Musk alliance.
Yeah.
And then one day, cryptically, Musk shows up and he's got a red hat on and a black hat on. What in the world is that about? A red hat? Why is he wearing a red hat and a black hat? What's the grill? That doesn't make any sense. But then all of a sudden, the fight breaks out between Trump and Musk. Oh boy, they hate each other.
Alleged
and all
fight,
the Republicans said, "Oh no," and all the Democrats said, "Oh yeah."
Playing.
And they said, Musk said, "There's Trump's in the Epstein files," and all the Democrats said, "We got to get those files." Took the bait, man, hook, line, and sinker, swallowed it down into their gullet.
Yep.
The whole deal is Trump, when you're dealing with the massive machine that Trump and company are dealing with, you cannot use a frontal assault. You've got to be sly about it, okay? If Trump had just released the Epstein files, they would have been able to disparage it and gaslight it, and it doesn't matter, and he's got it all figured. They would have done nothing would have been done, but make them demand that the files get released. Just the glory of it is just beautiful, and I couldn't help but think the whole time this Trump and Musk fight was going on that I was watching a WWE.
It was staged. That was all staged, man. Listen, the most powerful. Listen to this, Papa B. And Joey knows this. I use this as a mantra about psyops. The most powerful weapon in the hands of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed, and it's very simple. So.
It was beautiful, and then all of a sudden, it's all gone.
Yeah,
Epstein files are out. They're all back together again.
Of course.
Wait, the files have been released?
Well,
the actual perfection of that psyop, and people are going to be writing about this. I'm telling you, there are going to be history books. This is going in the history books right here.
Cool.
But I would just say to the Democrats, how does it feel to have a psyop run on your butt for a change?
Yeah, I can dig that.
I tell you, Sue.
And many more.
Anyway,
and many more.
And here's the thing. Here's one more thing. This is what's crazy, is that even as I'm talking about this to you, there are people that are just now cluing in as to what happened.
Well,
it was beautiful.
Who dat? Who there? Like in the Waterboy, right? Who dat? Who there?
Well, I don't know. My answer to you is maybe. I don't know where you're getting your certainty
maybe. I like
from.
the maybe word. Yeah.
Whatever. All right. Well, I don't want to come down too hard on each other, but anyway. All right. Y'all have a good.
All right. 272-9228. Go fight them yourself, big boy. Join Troy's.
That's right. Come
contingent.
join the poor soldiers of Christ. We got a plot spot for it.
272-9228. I don't think the files have been released.
I don't think they have yet.
Yeah.
No. And here's the deal. What are you really going to get? You're not going to get anything.
No.
It'll be so red acted.
Especially
It's
if
going to
it
be
is
red
what people
acted,
think
red
it is.
acted, red acted, red acted.
Right.
You're going to get garbage.
Now, we do have time for this. You just teased it a second ago.
What was it?
I just want to read it directly because it's a headline from The Guardian.
Okay.
That the headline is "Mouthpieces for Trump Inside the Right-Wing Takeover of the Pentagon Press Corps."
Nice.
Oh, no. I mean, all these Wilsonian, we must do everything to save the world for democracy, folks.
Yeah, right.
They're not the
League
ones.
of Nations. They still want the League of Nations.
But The Guardian writes, being a member of the Pentagon Press Corps was once
a privilege.
One of the most prestigious assignments in U.S. journalism, a position reserved for heavy hitters from venerable newspapers and news channels, reporters at the peak of their powers. Not anymore, writes The Guardian.
The populists have taken over.
A press conference last week held at a crucial time for a Pentagon embroiled in scandal was instead attended by more than a dozen right-wing activists, with the government being held to account by a close ally of Donald Trump, an employee at Turning Point USA, and someone from a pillow salesman's nascent media company. I love how they're butthurt about this.
Oh, listen, they don't control the narrative anymore.
Almost all credentialed reporters from traditional media companies surrendered their Pentagon press passes in October rather than sign a 21-page Pentagon document that set restrictions on journalistic activities. Those constraints include requiring news organizations to pledge they will not obtain unauthorized material, in effect limiting journalists to reporting on officially provided information.
It was about leaks.
And agreeing to limits on journalists entering certain parts of the Pentagon. Well, why don't you just agree to that and then break the rule?
Wait. Well, you could, or why not just follow the rules?
You can follow the rules, yeah.
You know what the thing is, Joey? They're entitled. They feel entitled. But we can do what we want.
But then thinking through PSYOPs, would this restrict like all your access to all your leakers in the Pentagon?
No.
Or like you're saying that the intelligence community, I can't run with a story that my intel source hands me?
No.
But he's the one that set me up with Susie, or with the.
Somebody's going to jail if they find out.
Following that walkout, the Pentagon issued passes and access to dozens of right-wing media figures and organizations who agreed to the strict rules, including Laura Loomer, a Trump confidant who is describing herself as a proud Islamophobe. Lindell TV, an online streaming channel founded by Mike Lindell, salesman, a conspiracy theorist and CEO of MyPillow, and Matt Gaetz, a disgraced former congressman turned host at One America News Network.
It's like the Suicide Squad. It's like the Misfits, dude.
And it's also, again, keep in mind, this is The Guardian, like one of the gayest publications on the face of the earth. And I don't mean that in any sort of good way.
I do. I mean it. What I say it is, yeah.
The lack of serious media figures scrutinizing the Pentagon. Last year, Loomer filmed herself eating dog food for an advert, while Lindell TV appears to exist primarily to push Lindell's disproven claims of election fraud, comes at a time when there is a particular need for journalists to provide proper scrutiny of a Pentagon beset by controversy. How much do you think all this stuff is being fed by certain entities in the Pentagon?
Sure, there are. There's a lot of disgruntled shops there and chiefs there, and their butt hurt too, because the gravy train is suddenly stopped.
They go over the whole Signal Gate thing here.
Yeah,
I'll skip that paragraph.
That was that's a separate conversation.
I think it has much more to do with Mike Waltz, who was moved to the UN for a reason.
Possibly. I really think, though, that was poor decision making on Pete's. He knows better. That's classified. It needs to be on SIPR, or at least SIPR, or maybe on JWICS, which is top secret.
It's incredibly problematic. We're talking about severely limited access to the already secretive military-industrial complex. And Carol Ann Morris, a journalism professor, so you're not even practicing, you're just a professor.
She teaches it because she can't do it.
At the University of North Carolina at Greensboro.
That's a really prestigious university for that.
That's who they got for their piece of The
they
Guardian.
Had to fish around.
I have had a hard time assigning any credibility whatsoever to any media outlet or journalist who would agree to the terms of the Pentagon's new press policy. Essentially, these folks will only be able to parrot information they're spoon-fed by some media liaison in the Pentagon. They can't seek out information on their own. Doesn't sound like journalism to me. Here's what it actually is. A group of alt-right outlets who are vying to be mouthpieces and apologists for this administration.
Alt-right.
The New York Times sued the Pentagon and Hegseth on Thursday, alleging that the ban seeks to restrict journalists' ability to do what journalists have always done, ask questions of government employees and gather information to report stories that take the public beyond official pronouncements. And experts have warned that the government is violating the First Amendment right to free speech. Well, you can still say whatever you want.
They're going to fight that on the First Amendment.
Everything about the press and the way it works requires independence from the government. No, it doesn't. No. Everything, the way the prestige press, the traditional media works, is they are the mouthpiece of the government.
That's right. And
they have it completely ass backwards.
When you're a liberal administration, yes, but when you're conservative.
And how many of these folks now go, I'm a journalist, I'm taking my ball and going home, I'm not signing that. How many times you sell these crap wars of the neocons? How many times? How many times did you sell the latest psyop from the intelligence community? How many times? Because that's what y'all were doing for years.
They were useful idiots, as
it goes back to like the freaking 30s and 40s. The New York Times is the internal memo service for the government.
I agree.
You could put Department of Information on the Times, and it wouldn't change a thing they did.
You mean UPI and all that? That's not been.
And they act they're so independent. Well, what about Watergate? What about Watergate? A former naval intelligence officer, first big story, and his main source is the deputy director of the FBI.
Yep.
But that's independent journalism.
Of course it is.
Not a way to screw over Nixon, the most popular president at that time in American history.
The FBI is beyond reproach. You know that.
They have it so ass backwards.
Well, they want to tell the narrative this way.
I'm not saying that.
Are you buying it?
I'm not saying like I'm a huge fan of Laura Loomer either.
No, she's
I do like Matt Gaetz, but I'm not.
I like Matt Gaetz too. I would party with Matt Gaetz probably, but I'd have to watch out because there might be.
Well, don't Venmo anything, bro.
Right. Now, listen, she wouldn't take crypto.
I was trying to send Monero and then teach her how to convert the Monero into Bitcoin. Yeah. Anyway, it's just, and again, I think this is just signaling like what a weak piece of propaganda pushed by the Guardian.
You know, it's funny, right? Because you kind of hit it. It's just the butt hurt, right? But here's the deal, Joey. They've had free reign for so long, and the just the nature of the nastiness and of the sinister and subterfuge and the things they've done to try to destroy Trump in all these, America's normalcy it's heretical. It is, it's beyond, I can't even come up with words to say. Now they are scrambling to figure out how the heck they're going to figure out to be able to manipulate things.
Well, and this is a great way to actually stop leaking.
That's how you stop.
You do it on one end with the journalist, and you up the ante on the inside.
And you reward the people that are doing it right.
Right. And you can tell that a lot of folks that used to have access don't.
No.
And and then you notice in their reporting and their reportage that it is not it doesn't have the same juice, same punch.
This isn't as prestigious as it once was. Well, that's because you can't do what you want to do and break the big story. This is nothing burger.
Right.
Nothing ever happens. Just keep moving on.
Right. And you think it might have anything to do with that little speech I just read from Pete Hegseth?
I think it does.
Like the prime contractors aren't going to have prime position anymore.
So do you think, I can tell you, I've worked with these people. They have their own group of goons that go out and cause mischief.
Of course.
And that's really what's happening.
Like they wouldn't be doing their job if they didn't have the goons.
You remember the guy that was going to testify the next morning in federal court, the Boeing engineer who shot himself in the back of the head in his car?
Yeah.
That was that kind of, that's
he's just got
stuff at
shoulder
stake.
pliability.
Yeah,
Like I can do that right here.
He's like Elastic Man.
Yeah, that is the weirdest. Yeah, but you don't want to end up like Fight Club where it's just through the cheek and you're like, I'm still alive.
Just a flesh wound.
But Durden's gone, thank God.
Oh, God.
Anyway, we got to hit a break. First, this part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And there at Montgomery Men's Health, they're ready to help you fellas out. If you just don't feel yourself anymore, it very well could be low testosterone is what's bedeviling you, what's troubling you. If you feel exhausted, tired, sluggish, mentally and physically, you're not sleeping well, you're never in the mood, go check out at Montgomery Men's Health if you have low testosterone. And there at Montgomery Men's Health, it's no guesswork, no gimmicks, just real science and effective treatments. The urologists and providers there will tailor solutions specifically to your body and goals. And beyond testosterone, they have ED treatments and many other options men don't even know exist. Consultation, including blood work, is just $99 with results before you leave. So, gentlemen, you need to act now. I know a lot of y'all say, I'm a man, I don't need no doctor or anything like that, or I don't have to go to the doctor. Well, procrastination's only going to make this worse, gentlemen. Call them up today at 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or visit MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book that appointment. Do it again today. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Since 1966, the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches has been more than just a place to stay. It's been a place to belong. For children facing hardships through no fault of their own, our ranches provide more than shelter. With open arms, we welcome these young hearts, giving them the love, structure, and guidance they need to heal, grow, and thrive in a warm Christian environment. With the end of the year approaching, many will decide whether to help those who are less fortunate. When you give to the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches, you give Alabama's children the chance they deserve. Every donation stays within Alabama, directly impacting the lives of the children who need it the most. Join us in making a difference. We'd be honored to have you as a part of our mission to lift Alabama's youth. And we're also looking for compassionate couples to join our mission as house parents. We provide housing, medical benefits, a 401k, paid vacation, and the chance to make a lasting difference. Visit AlabamaSheriff'sYouthRanches.org. The Alabama Sheriff Youth Ranches reminds you it's easier to build boys and girls than to repair men and women.
I'm Jim Smith with Adams Drugs. At Adams Drugs, we offer a wide variety of services, including delivery, compounding, wellness clinics, and immunizations. Now is the time to visit any Adams Drugs location and get your flu shot. Getting an annual flu shot can help prevent you from getting the flu, reduce the severity of symptoms if you get the flu, and prevent serious complications such as hospitalization and death. Getting your flu shot at Adams Drugs protects you from getting sick, but it also makes sure that those around you, especially those at high risk, remain safe. Each year, up to 49 million people in the U.S. contract the flu. Depending on the flu virus's severity, deaths as a result of flu complications could skyrocket to 79,000 people nationwide. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for a location nearest you. Adams Drugs is your local, independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking with a prospector. That's right, man. I'm prospecting for gold. You dig? No, but it looks like you do. And you know the first thing I'm going to do when I strike it rich? What's that? I'm going to hire David Ernest to be my money man. You mean everyone's favorite asset preservationist? That is correct, man. I'm going to call him up at 833-596-7233. 833-596-SAFE. You know, I've heard a lot of good things about David Ernest. You know, he's the best money man around with over 40 years of experience. Experience is necessary, especially when you're digging for gold. That's right, man. And I can see that you don't have very much experience. What do you mean, man? Well, you have the little plastic bucket and shovel like a kid would take to the beach. Yeah, man, well, I want to start out small and kind of pace myself up until I strike it rich. Well, maybe you should call David Ernest first. You think he's got a shovel? Never know till you ask. I dig, man.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. Are you getting ready to put your home up for sale? Remember the 6 Ps. Prepare your home by deep cleaning, painting where needed, yard work, decluttering the inside. Present your home to the market through the experienced realtor who knows how to market the home and get it sold. Price the home at fair market value of what the home should bring in today's market. Your realtor can guide you in pricing the home to sell, not sit. Pay for part of the closing cost and provide a 1-year warranty. Buyers today don't have the down payment and all the cost of buying a home without some help. Prepare to look at offers from the marketplace and accept the best offer for your needs. And 6, place your trust in experienced professionals, including your realtor, closing attorney, and mortgage company. For all the details, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group, 221-2883. And remember, we are now hiring agents, both new and experienced. Call me today for an interview. Bo Goodson, 221-2883.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. At PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Hang on. There's some better weather news in our future, at least in the short term. Today, gradually, we will work our way into sunshine with a high temperature only up to about 54. Mostly clear. A cold one tonight. Overnight low temperature down to about freezing by dawn. Tuesday will look nice with plenty of sunshine, high in the mid-50s. More sun, a little warmer. Wednesday, high 64. That's actually close to normal. Thursday's high 68. That's the warmest day of the week with widely scattered showers possible. And before this week is over, another Arctic plunge. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Delray Publix.
Live local talk. The River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Troy Carrico here in the studio with me. And let's do a little bit of a palate cleanser. This was J.D. Vance telling an Inside the Oval Office story the other day. People caught it on camera. Let's listen in.
I want to talk about Sly and all his great accomplishments and why we're gathered here to celebrate him. But I want to first say, people often ask me what it's like to be the Vice President of the United States. And a lot of it is exactly what you would expect it to look like if you watched on TV or just paid attention to the media. But sometimes you get these behind-the-scenes moments that I will never, ever forget for the rest of my life. So, for example, today I'm in the Oval Office with the President of the United States and our great Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, and we're talking about something really, really important. And the President kind of holds up his hand and says, no, hold on a second. There's something much more important, shoes. And he peers over the Resolute desk and he says, Marco, JD, you guys have shitty shoes.
I had to dump that crappy shoes.
Better shoes.
Yeah.
So he goes out
You have to
and
dump
grabs the catalog. There happens to be another politician in the room. I won't say who, and you'll find out why in a second. And he actually
for those if I dumped it out in Radio Land, he said, you guys have crappy shoes.
This is through this incredible shoe catalog, and we're by the way, the president is gifting us with 4 pairs of shoes, and I think 4 pairs for Marco. And he's actually asking our size in the middle of this conversation. He's asking for our size so that he can make sure that we get the right shoes. And he asked this other politician, said, I'm going to get you some shoes too. And so he says, Marco, what's your shoe size? And Marco's apparently an 11.5. He says, JD, what's your shoe size? My shoe size is 13. And he asked this politician, who I won't embarrass, what his shoe size is, and he says 7. President, he kind of leans back in his chair and says, you can tell a lot about a man by his shoe size.
That's great.
We won't ask the second lady for comment on that.
Hey, that's funny. That's funny stuff. Man.
Just classic Trump. And no, I'd admit mine's like a 9.
Listen, the first thing I'm 11.5 too. But here's the first thing I do when I meet somebody, I look at their shoes.
Mm-hmm.
I look at their shoes. We'll see if you don't. It's maybe the military. I polish my shoes. You got to keep. I know you are very meticulous about your boots too.
Yeah. Well, I'm dropping the ball of late.
Well,
I'm working. I need to work on it.
I just think
it's important
to be refined.
No, I admit I'm just the president would probably make fun of me. I'd be the small man in the room. I'd be a 9.
You know what though? You make up for it at heart right here, man.
Right. I love how he put it into. We're not going to ask the second lady for comment on that particular topic.
He leans back in his
because
chair.
Wouldn't that be disappointing? This man's got a size 15, and then you get back to the
little Rude Marco isn't as little as we thought he was.
Good for Marco.
Good for him, man.
No,
I love him, man.
It's a fun classic Trump moment.
That
right
is.
there.
It is.
And it shows that the guy is, always kicking things around that you don't necessarily expect.
Yep.
Now, this was shared by the White House Rapid Response Team earlier today, and I believe it is a clip from Fox 10, and it has to do with what Alabama has done.
Yes.
And the Trump administration saying thank you to Governor Kay Ivey for helping to make American roads safer. So let's listen in to what was done.
Truck drivers have been detained in Alabama on ICE hold since late October. It is part of a new state crackdown on commercial drivers. Governor Kay Ivey says 12 of those detained did not have a license of any kind. Our Shelby Myers in the studio now. And Shelby, you spoke to the Alabama Trucking Association about this.
Yeah, I did, Camera. The president and CEO says this crackdown will hopefully weed out what he calls bad actors in the trucking industry. Multiple fatal truck crashes led the U.S. Department of Transportation to promise a crackdown on issuing commercial driver's licenses, or CDLs. One of those deadly crashes happened in Thomasville over the summer. A Ukrainian-born truck driver ran a red light. He crashed into several cars, killing 2 people. He was in the U.S. on a visa and had a valid license, but he does not speak English. English proficiency is required for a CDL. Alabama joining in on the crackdown. Governor Kay Ivey announcing a partnership between ALEA and ICE. They're targeting major interstate corridors where truck traffic is heavy. Governor Ivey says troopers referred 242 people to ICE during 2 operations over the past 2 months. Of those, 82 drivers were detained based on their immigration status, and 12 of those did not even have a driver's license of any kind.
When I talk to truck drivers and professional drivers and small business owners, they're frustrated because they're in a tough economy. On one side, they get attacked by lawyers and frivolous lawsuits, and on another, unfair competition for people who break the rules and don't operate fairly and unsafely.
Mark Colson heads the Alabama Trucking Association. He says some foreign drivers' work visas expire, but their commercial license stay valid. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy has issued a directive to states to align the 2 timelines. Duffy says he is also planning to shut down about 3,000 drivers' training schools nationwide. He says they failed to meet training standards, and some are accused of falsifying training data. The list.
Wow. So a good, I in my previous life, I was the service center manager for UPS Heavy International Freight. And I can tell you this, they didn't even touch on probably the most glaring thing. There's places called 3PLs. That's third-party leasers.
Okay.
They buy up space on less than truckloads. So you might buy a portion of a trailer with Old Dominion or with ABF or whoever it might be. And most of them are foreign, and they're out of Moldova, and they're out of Moldova and out of Russia. Okay. And the Russians moved their operations to Moldova, and they run probably a good third of the interstate trucking going on. Wow. These companies aren't even based here, and they're sending people from overseas here. And it's just a
We've
mess.
dropped the ball in so many ways.
Well,
but tightening things up now. And on this same front, here is Tom Homan, the border czar, talking about a, pretty big accomplishment here.
I look at the numbers every day. On Friday, I looked at the numbers. There's over 62,000 children found by the Trump administration. Children that weren't even being looked for under the Biden administration. President Trump saved over 62,000 children's lives. Some of these children were in sex trafficking, we found them. Some were in forced labor. Some were being mistreated. I can't even discuss some of the mistreatment we found out about. President Trump, again, proves why he's the greatest president in my lifetime. Over 62,000 children rescued by President Trump. Again, children that were ignored and weren't being looked for under President Biden.
Wow.
Yep.
It's a lot of kids.
Sure is.
And Holman did a huge kind of just breakdown saying here, I'll pull this up on the screen. Mm-hmm. Since President Trump has been in the White House, there has been more than 579,000 removals, a historic record. Together with self-deports, this will be approximately 2.2 million total departures. Most secure border in history, the lowest level of crossings ever, 0 released into the country the last 7 months. And again, found 62,400 missing children.
Yeah. Wow. You know what's funny? I saw something out of our good friends at The Guardian. They put out a publication, or an article yesterday talking about that 1/3 of all the deportees had no previous criminal record. Well, 2/3 of them did. It's like the way they spend this stuff. It's ridiculous. I don't care. They're here illegally. Go.
It is ridiculous. And, when you hear this whole administration across the board, for instance, here's J.D. Vance making the case.
Yeah.
And in particular, talking about it in the European context, which I think there are a lot of folks, leaders across the board that are still in denial about this. But here Here's the vice president making the case.
What are some of the biggest drivers of violence in these European societies? It's mass migration. It's people who haven't assimilated into European societies, who are driving cars into Christmas festivals, killing tons of innocent people. And very often, the European response to that is not to say, oh, well, maybe we should get control of our own borders. The response is to try to silence and shut down their own citizenry. That is a danger in Europe. It was a danger under Joe Biden in the United States of America. And look, of course, China is a major threat. It's a major competitor over the next few years, over the next few decades. But I have no doubt that America and Europe could take on whatever threats so long as we're strong internally. That's the biggest risk to our civilization. It's that weakness internally. That's what we have to fix.
Amen.
Yeah, I agreed.
So they seem to be on top of it. But then the question becomes, how's the economy doing?
Yeah, not so good.
And they are saying, oh, we're primed. We're ready to go. Like, this has been kind of a plan over this first year. Look at all the trade deals we've done. Look at some of the stuff we've done in the energy markets. Here's the Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent. I believe this is Face the Nation yesterday, explaining the Trump agenda.
The Biden administration created the worst inflation in 50 years, and maybe for working Americans, the worst inflation of all time. And we have pulled that number down. That Strategas Research does something called the Common Man Index. Under Biden, the accumulated inflation number, as measured by CPI, was about 20%. Their index showed 35. This year, for the first time, the Common Man Index is below the inflation index because the basket of goods for working Americans, food, gasoline, rent is coming down. So I wrote an essay March 12th, 2024, and it talked about the 3 I's: immigration, interest rates, and inflation. Mass unfettered immigration, depressed wages, caused housing prices to go up. President has closed the border. That is fixed. Interest rates have come down. The bond market just had the best year since 2020. And now we are working on inflation, and I expect inflation to roll down strongly next year.
And it needs to. And you need to see a lot more of that effect in people's actual paychecks. The National Economic Council director, Kevin Hassett, who will probably be the next head of the Federal Reserve,
I think so too,
if Trump gets his way, was laying this out on CNBC this morning. And like I said months ago, what's the stat to look at? Real wages.
That's right.
Well, the way that in the end, with an eye on the horizon, that this problem gets fixed is that real wage growth goes up enough so that that huge 23% hole that was dug by Joe Biden is a thing in the past, because people have money in their pockets, enough money in their pockets to bring their real standard of living back up. The real standard of living in the U.S., the purchasing power of ordinary Americans has gone up by about $1,200 so far this year. If you look at the great data on Friday that said that real wages were up 2.5% over the last few months, that happens when you get positive supply in the economy, and that's what drives growth up and prices down. And so what you want to do is lock that kind of gain in where you're seeing real wages coming from positive supply shocks. And if you do that, then just as in the 90s when we had positive supply shocks from the computer, and Alan Greenspan was willing to sort of let the economy run a little bit hotter, we have an opportunity with AI and all the productivity that we're seeing to do so again, but to do so with a great deal of caution as you watch the inflation numbers go by. Because the one thing we know is that inflation hurts everybody in the economy. And you saw that in the last election. I'm sure the last election was very much an inflation election.
Though it does seem to help, I think, people with huge debts who can always refinance.
Yes.
That means that nominal thing you owe is worth less and less.
So here's a scary thought for you, though, just to give you some idea of relevant comparative analysis. So in 2021, this quarter of 2021 compared to this quarter of 2025, less than truckload shipping, which is multiple customers on one trailer, and those are your ABFs or your FedEx FedEx freight, down 27%, and 70%.
Okay.
And I'm looking at the stats, and the truckload, just for an entire truckload, which is usually manufactured goods from one location, is down 27%. So that's not good. We're not manufacturing. We're not turning stuff out. Nobody's buying it. So Not a good listen. Trucking will tell you where the economy's at, is what I believe. So
we got to hit another break. First, this entire hour brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And if you are looking at interest rates or hoping those rates will continue to fall, which I think they will, especially when you get a new head of the Federal Reserve.
Yep.
Got to get in touch with Kim and Madeline there at Alabama Home Mortgage. Could be you're looking to refinance your current home, or you're looking to purchase a new home. And getting a plan together doesn't mean you have to pull the trigger today. Just start the conversation, especially you veterans out there. They specialize at Alabama Home Mortgage in helping you veterans take advantage of the VA home loan benefits that you earn through your service. You are often qualified when you don't even know. A lot of folks think I already used it. Or
you can use it multiple times, Joey. So go check with them, man.
And it's the best deal. Don't leave money on the table. And of course, even if you're not a veteran, they're going to try to get you the best possible deal, whether to meet your goals when it comes to refinancing or get you in that brand new home that you have your eye on. Give them a call today at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368. Equal housing lender.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from your local Roto-Rooter. The Tears family extends best wishes to all those in the river region this holiday season. Don't let plumbing issues turn your celebrations into a lump of coal. Roto-Rooter is a phone call or a click away for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 272-7130, or online at rotorooteralabama.com. And remember,
call Roto-Rooter, that's the name, and away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter, Roto-Rooter.
Attention Montgomery business owners. Want more customers without guessing how to reach them? Blue Water Broadcasting isn't just radio. We're your full-service digital marketing partner. From smart social media campaigns to targeted display ads to SEO that actually works. We help your business get seen by the right people at the right time. Whether you're a local shop, a growing brand, or an established company, our team can build a custom strategy that drives real results on air and online. Ready to grow? Call Blue Water Broadcasting today or visit bluewaterbroadcasting.com. Blue Water Broadcasting, your audience is waiting.
E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, ride for free. E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, E-Bike Oasis, ride for free.
At E-Bike Oasis, we're more than just Montgomery's best electric bicycle store. E-Bike Oasis offers free 1-hour electrical bicycle rentals and a full-service electric bike repair shop. Stop by E-Bike Oasis in Montgomery today for free rentals, repairs, and electric bicycle brands in town.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phone, shall we, and talk to Michael Cohen with Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Joey. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing very well indeed. Now let's talk about, especially people shopping around the holidays. I think they're always looking for that right price, and I think y'all got that pretty much taken care of at Cohen's.
Well, yeah. You know, the biggest thing that we try to do at Cohen's is we try to have the right price, you know, to start with. You know, we've already got a computer program that helps give us all of our competitors' pricing. So when you're looking at a Sony 65-inch XR80 OLED TV, we know how much everybody else is selling it for, and we've got the same price that everybody else has. Same thing goes for our appliances, whether it's a Maytag washing machine, a Speed Queen, a LG, you know, Frigidaire, whatever we're selling, we already know what everybody else has it for in town. So we will be competitive with those prices.
And we don't often talk about, y'all do have financing options for some of these big ticket items, right?
That's right. We've got a good, better, best financing program depending on what the customer's credit score is. So, we can accommodate just about anybody that needs to have credit. We have our own technicians, which is one thing that all of my box competitors don't have. When you buy an appliance from Cohen's, we have 4 technicians that will come out to your home and do the repair for your washer, dryer, refrigerator, oven, what have you. We also have our own installer that can do the installation for appliances, just like I have Michael Jacks that does it on the electronic side. So when you are shopping, you can be rest assured you're going to get a very competitive price with anybody else that's in town, and you're going to get way better service.
Here, and I've experienced it myself, folks. I did the financing option. It went beautifully. The install went beautifully, and I still love my big old TV, but it applies to the electronic side and the appliance side. Y'all get by there today. You can always shop online, peruse what they got online at thinkcohens.com. But I say get by the Boulevard. That's 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. They're open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. And find Michael and be like, hey, I heard you on that radio show with that Joey fella, and there's a guy named Troy there too.
Oh, look at Troy trying to pick up Eddie's slack.
It's so hard. It's so hard. Listen, it's so hard to do. He leaves a mess all over everywhere, and then I got to come in and try to get in here. And then he brings ham. I need to start bringing something, I guess, to the party. Besides, I give Joey cigars all the time, and whiskey that I make.
That's cool too.
Oh. Well, I mean that sounds right up Joey's alley.
He's a man about town, Mike. You know that.
Yes.
Right.
So y'all come see us. Let us help you make the right choice, and y'all have a good day. And talk to you Wednesday.
Yeah. Sounds great. Thanks, Michael. Again, that's Michael Cohen with Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. We'll be right back after this.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. The U.S. Supreme Court could overturn an old ruling and allow President Trump to have more say about getting rid of certain personnel at federal agencies. That ruling is going to decide the future of the way Washington, D.C. is governed. President Trump set to take the wraps off a $12 billion aid package for farmers. That relief would come amid the tariff-driven losses many farmers have suffered. It does raise questions about the long-term trade strategy and the budget impact. The media merger battle is ongoing as Paramount has issued a $74.4 billion hostile bid challenging Netflix's $72 billion deal for Warner Brothers Discovery, and it could trigger a regulatory scrutiny and shareholder battle in the months to come. On Wall Street right now, the Dow is down about 300 points. This is SRN News.
Hey, it's Mike Gallagher. The holidays are right around the corner, and you know what that means. Travel, gifts, family gatherings, and a whole lot of spending. Here's a way to get ahead of it all. Call my friends Mike and Brian and the team at Fellowship Home Loans. Rates have dropped again. That means you could refinance, lower your monthly payment, even skip your next 2 mortgage payments. That's right, 2 months with no mortgage payment. Put away the checkbook. Keep that money for the holidays. You won't be making any more payments till 2026. Maybe you're not looking to refinance, but you need access to cash. Well, Fellowship now offers their own HELOC and line of credit. Approval just takes a few minutes, and you can have funds in your account in as little as 4 days. Use it to pay off bills, finish a renovation, or simply get ready for the new year. Just go to fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, or call 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-6453. Fellowship Home Loans, mortgage lending by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 819382.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by McPhillip Shinbaum.
My name is Aaron Luck, a partner with the law firm of McPhillip Shinbaum. If you or someone in your family has been seriously injured by the negligence of someone else, call me directly.
262-1911. Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Hang on. There's some better weather news in our future, at least in the short term. Today, gradually, we will work our way into sunshine with a high temperature only up to about 54. Mostly clear. A cold one tonight. Overnight low temperature down to about freezing by dawn. Tuesday will look nice with plenty of sunshine, high in the mid-50s. More sun, a little warmer. Wednesday, high 64. That's actually close to normal. Thursday's high 68. That's the warmest day of the week with widely scattered showers possible. And before this week is over, another Arctic plunge. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Brighten your holidays with ASE Credit Union. Enjoy the season stress-free with our special holiday loans. Visit us or call today to learn more. ASE Credit Union, your ASECU.com, 334-270-9011. Terms and conditions apply, federally insured by NCUA.
1819 News.
The Islamic Academy of Alabama has now withdrawn its application for rezoning to take place at the Meadowbrook Corporate Park. The Islamic Academy was seeking for rezoning to take place in order for them to relocate their Islamic Academy to the corporate park. However, the Hoover Zoning Commission voted unanimously to not recommend this application or to approve the rezoning request at its latest December meeting. Now the application has been formally withdrawn 7 months after it was first submitted. U.S. Senator Tommy Tuberville came out against the expansion of the Islamic Academy shortly after the Zoning Commission meeting occurred. Tuberville has been very outspoken of late against radical Islamic teachings and practices, saying they are in direct contradiction to the U.S. Constitution. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Where I was living was not a great place to live anymore. I began to pray for a place to go, praying for all of these things that a 9-year-old would want. I wanted horses, big house with a bunch of people my age. I wanted parents. I wanted a mom and a dad. Before I even prayed it, the Lord had already answered my prayer with the Big Oak Ranch. Who would that 9-year-old be if she never came to the Big Oak Ranch? I would be trying to fight for survival instead of fighting to break a cycle.
Big Oak Ranch, a Christian home for children needing a chance.
A third case of rabies has been confirmed in Houston County. The rabies was confirmed in a raccoon that was found dead in a homeowner's yard. The homeowner's dog got into a fight with that raccoon. Fortunately, the dog's owner kept their pet up to date on his rabies vaccines. An organization that helps foster children in Alabama is now expanding. Kids to Love has opened up a mental wellness center alongside its trauma care service in Huntsville. The organization also offers scholarships to low-income families who are in need of the mental wellness and trauma care. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Now, it looks like the top trending story there at 1819 News is about the Montgomery City Council being about to vote on the $5 million downtown real estate deal for a new convention center. Little Bird told me that the vote did go through 5-3. I don't have the breakdown of who, but
I got 7-2.
Oh, you got 7-2? Maybe
7-2. My source, Jason, says the city council voted 7-2 to purchase the old Montgomery.
Oh, wow. So they won some people over.
Majority. Yeah.
No, and that's a pretty strong majority there.
Yep.
So we'll see. We'll see how it all works out. It is prime real estate. People have been trying to figure out what the heck to do with that old building for a long, long time.
Agreed.
And it does make sense in terms of downtown development. I just worry about is
The
that
cost.
5.5 million the
The truth in lending, as they say.
You're right. You're exactly right. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation here in the last hour of the program. Now, can we just do something completely different?
We could do whatever you want.
Because you know that thing I went to on Friday night?
Yes.
There was a lot of talk of politics and faith and how's your family doing, all this stuff. But eventually people are like, we need to find you a girl. We need to find you a good Catholic girl.
I've been trying to do this.
I know. Everybody brings this up.
Protect you.
Every time I see folks, and it's usually like some beautiful young couple has been married for about 5-10 years.
You need to be happy. See this? You can have this too,
right.
Joey.
Yeah, right. But then I don't know. Is it happiness? Is it happiness?
It's glorious, Robin. Robin, every day is glorious. You know it is.
Well, so I, occasionally start looking at the old school like dating apps. Now the question is, would you date JoJo from Jersey? And man, this woman,
she's got John Bon Jovi's too.
Yeah. Now the looks wise, she thinks she
got
smokes
those crazy
cigarettes.
eyes. She's got them crazy eyes.
Right.
Too. Yeah. She's like,
she is
looking at you like
definitely
that.
rocked out the slippery when wet though.
Oh yeah,
Bon Jovi.
Yeah. She probably, but she smokes, and she probably is a couple years away from a cancer because
she had that one night with Richie Sambora.
Oh yeah, probably that or white. She might have been
But
with
like,
white.
so she looks like she's done some fast, hard living. But actually, there is something about this woman that is, I think, not somebody I'd want to date, but redeeming. Yes.
Okay.
So just listen to her attitude and her confidence.
My ideal man doesn't play the drums, doesn't stay late at the bar, does what he says and says what he does not get a fancy lawyer that the other person can't afford if things get weird.
So far, it sounds like she's definitely dated a drummer and that didn't go well.
Oh yeah.
She's definitely got married. The divorce did not go
And
well.
that attorney, I shouldn't have used the same attorney, right?
Here she goes more.
My name's Gwen. I am divorced. I have 2 kids, and I will not ever regret having those 2 kids. Okay, so that's really important for me to tell anyone who's listening.
Okay, that's great, actually. The intensity is a little like
she's almost too. She's going to scare people away.
I type 110 words a minute. I actually can type faster, but I keep a little.
She's got
bit
good
for
fingers.
myself. I blew out my knee jazzercising, so I don't want a guy that's too active. My best qualities: I own a timeshare. My favorite way to unwind is with a Virginia Slim and a big scoop of cottage cheese.
Oh no, she lost me there. And
Why I
the
want to find
tomato.
love is I just think that everybody deserves a second chance. I want to go to the PTA with my ideal man.
Holy cow! Listen, that's dated. Thank God.
Oh yeah, that's
that.
80s
Listen,
for-
they actually need to redo that and say this is an ad for a new dating app. It's like hell.
Let's go to more of a modern woman who I can't remember what's her name. 26-year-old anchors
Missouri Morning News
Ozarks First.
Yeah.
Carissa Codell.
She's down in the Ozarks in Missouri, Lake of the Ozarks.
And they decided to start reading in her news voice a lot of the comments being thrown her way.
Uh-oh.
And it is
Miss P, what are they going to say about her?
Well, it's pretty funny. Well, I mean, just looking at her, what do you think they're going to say?
Miss P.
Ooh.
Because she's no. It's not. It's her hair and her nose. She's kind of like she's not.
Yeah, but there's some boys that like it thick. Let's listen in.
I'm going to say so.
Girl, I want you to put a hurtin' on me like you do those midnight snacks.
See?
I don't think I will. I ain't never worked as hard as them ankles. Ladies, if your man doesn't work harder than your ankles, get another one.
I love it. She works harder than a fat stripper.
What happened to just, you look nice? I'm not going to read that. No, you're right. She's like the only fat 9 I've ever seen.
That means an 8.5. That's great.
Rare. That's what I get out of that.
They're rare.
Why have fake news when you can have cake news?
That's my favorite one. Why have fake news when you can have cake
She
news?
loves cake. She does it like a fat kid love cake.
Yeah, if I could be a cake, what cake would I be? I guess leave a comment.
Red velvet, probably.
7-layer.
Yeah.
No, well, we'll
German
see what
chocolate.
people come up with, I guess. I don't know. I'm kind of scared. This is who Sir Mix-a-Lot was rapping about. If you don't get that reference, it's time to do your homework and go to bed. Damn, girl, you look like I'm about to get featured on your news channel.
Seems like this man's about to commit a crime for you.
Commit a crime?
Okay, featured on the evening news.
Get featured. Oh, get get featured on the evening news. I didn't realize he was going to partake in criminal activities. You look like you could survive a harsh winter.
That's great. You could go to hibernation.
No, I like her sense of humor. Rolling
She's
with the
very
punches
funny.
here.
She's extremely
She's
funny.
thicker than zoo glass.
That's terrible.
I just want to know who zoo glass is. I gotta learn how to flex like him. Like, how is he? You know what I mean?
Tuck baby.
Fee-fi, faux, yum.
That's great.
And she is thick. She's beautiful too. But that gum, those are some
She's got a
great
great
comments.
personality, I'm sure.
Why have fake
But you
news?
date her this.
When you can have cake news, fee, fi, faux, yum.
I'm so blessed. Thank you, God, for what I have.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
I mean, she's nice enough. She's nice enough, but she's,
Yeah, no, she gets a lot of points up.
She's really
on
cool.
my
Yeah, she's
scale
cool. I
for
like
just
her.
being
She's
cool
very
about
cool.
it.
She's very cool.
Oh my God! But yeah, anyway, the search continues to find me a lady. I got to. I'm kind of at the point where I'll just have to do it myself. Everybody's trying.
Yes, listen, Joey.
just
When
have to
you
do it myself.
decide that you want to have a relationship,
Mhm.
then you can have a relationship. Till then, this is on. I believe this as your friend. I want you to be happy, and if that means being by yourself, that's great. But here's the deal: the longer you wait, the harder it becomes because you become set in your ways, and I believe that.
Oh, that
with all
is
my-
true. I have to admit, I like my peace and quiet.
I know you do, and that's one of the things I try to respect for you.
And when I get around like the family, I'm like, oh, this isn't as peaceful or as quiet.
You're like, oh goodness. Now I know why I don't have kids right now.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready.
Though you like your niece loves you. Your little niece loves you.
Lucy's
She's that's
Lucy's awesome.
She is cool.
I mean,
I
but
saw
again,
you-
I don't have to do all the work.
I saw you jamming on Facebook. I saw some of your stuff.
Yeah.
You're getting into. I was like,
having a
you're
little
shredding,
fun.
man.
Having a little fun about
I'm
it.
proud of you. Yes, I know that guy. He's a star.
Now let's jump to the AI beat.
Okay.
This is from the New York Post. AI stars like Tilly Norwood and Zania Mehmet are raking in millions of dollars, much to the horror of critics, but the creators are hitting back. A quick trip to the bathroom changed Elin van der Velden's life and Hollywood forever. There, in the privacy of her porcelain escape, the artificial intelligence innovator was hit with a stroke of genius, though it would ultimately irk the A-list likes of Whoopi Goldberg, Emily Blunt, Natasha Lyonne, Ryan Reynolds, and top dogs at the Screen Actors Guild, to name a few.
Those are the people you want to.
I remember it really clearly in February 2025. I went to the bathroom and then I came back to chat to the team and I said, this is what we're going to do. Make an AI actress. I think it'd be really fun. Van der Velden, a Dutch comedy actor and physicist based in the UK, exclusively told the Post with a laugh. We had originally called her the Scarlett Johansson of AI. To engineer the faux ScarJo, oh God, Van der Velden and her team of 15 creators at Particle 6, a London-based AI production studio, immediately sprang into action. Utilizing 10 different AI generation tools and platforms such as DeepSeek, ChatGPT, 11 Labs, and Gemini, they drafted 2,000 iterations of their cyber showgirl before finally birthing Tilly Norwood, a 24-year-old British brunette with girl next door allure. The visionary spent hours laboring over her name, ensuring it sounded authentically British and universally unique. For her comely appeal, they designed her physique to resemble that of a beautiful, whitish-looking young woman who'd resonate with global audiences. I have to say, they did a pretty good freaking job. This is the
Whitish.
fake. This is the fake AI person.
Oh, she looks like a real person.
They nailed the whole girl next
She looks
door
like a real
thing.
person.
They really
So when
did.
she talks is when you know.
Yeah. The experts gathered data from several large language models rather than copying and pasting physical features from everyday people across the internet to create a near perfect specimen for the big screen. I remember the moment I saw Tilly for the first time and I was like, whoa, that's her, said Van der Velden. I remember just being absolutely gobsmacked. Nice word.
And I fell in love with her.
Yeah.
Now she's my girlfriend.
Adding that Tilly's brain, personality, and backstory are still in development. If you haven't had that progression and suddenly see Tilly, Van der Velden told the Post, I can see how it can be very shocking. Infuriating is more like it. The faux front woman's recent social media debut ignited a firestorm of calls from VIPs to boycott any agencies representing AI talent.
Wow.
Hey, here's another.
Here's a big.
This was the reveal. Like, and I'm not going to click the video, but this was the reveal on the gram.
Very,
You can see what they're going for. It looks like a person.
It does.
Anyway, Whoopi Goldberg, an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony winning actress. That's hard to believe, but it is true.
She was on Star Trek Next Generation.
Yeah. I remember her as that. And she's like some very old.
She was a
being.
bartender. She was a bartender. Yeah.
Slam Tilly and her ilk saying, "Bring it on. You can always tell them from us. We move differently. Our faces move differently. Our bodies move differently." Ryan Reynolds, too, took aim at Van der Velden's masterpiece, starring alongside a real woman named Natalie Tilly Norwood in a new Mint Mobile commercial, asking the brown-eyed girl, "You are real, right? Not an AI-generated combination of actors." Leon deemed Tilly's emergence on the scene deeply misguided and totally disturbed. Emily Blunt took one look at Tilly's human-like likeness and bluntly said, "That's an AI? Good Lord, we're screwed." Before calling the tech really scary and begging artificial intelligence savants, please stop taking away our human connection. That outrage was compounded by SAG-AFTRA's open vow to oppose the replacement of human performers by synthetics. But Tilly isn't a solo firebrand. Bots turned overnight hotshots are on the rise amid artificial intelligence boom, posing a threat to humans hoping to break into or maintain their status in the biz. Breaking Russ, a rugged, raspy-voiced cowboy with chiseled cheeks covered in stubble who wears a 10-gallon hat and has a twang like Grammy winner Chris Stapleton. He topped the Billboard Country Digital Song Sales charts with his smash hit Walk My Walk in November. Want to see a look at this fake AI country boy?
He looks like Chuck Norris. Looks like Chuck Norris.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in Yellowstone.
He doesn't look real as compared to the girl.
And Pamela is joining us, by the way. Hello.
Hey, Pamela.
Turn
Sorry,
that
I'm
camera.
so sorry.
Turn a little more. All right.
There
I
you
think
be.
We're gonna be good. But yeah, I didn't even hear this song. I guess I'm not like a new country fan.
There is no new country.
Yeah, there is no new country in your book.
No, not post Bocephus.
You're still just listening to Waylon.
No, I listened.
I
to
saw
Waylon.
him last year
Man, did you see him? Where'd you see him at?
in Birmingham.
Awesome. It was a good show.
It was good.
So, Jamie, we got a gem here in Montgomery. A lot of people don't know Jamie Johnson, who's just an incredible musician,
is.
man. It just
Great guy.
In color, I cry every time.
I know.
I cry.
Robin does too. It's he's good.
And I've just heard he quietly helps a lot of folks out.
He does.
Really good guy.
He's a vet. He's a former Marine.
Yeah.
He's a good dude. So yeah, you're listening, Jamie. We love you.
So, but this guy named Breaking Rust, real success. He's 100% AI generated, with Spotify songs credited only to a mysterious figure named Abire Rivaldo Taylor, which may be a pseudonym, a truth that stunned his over 65,000 Instagram fans. This isn't a real person, I fear. Commented an onlooker whose sentiments were echoed by an equally shocked viewer who wrote, "Society is in trouble." Lucas Hansen, co-founder of Civ AI, a nonprofit AI security organization, says folks, specifically professional performers, are not in immediate danger of losing the spotlight to automations. When it comes to singers and actors, most consumers care about their mythology and the provenance of their success, which AI artists don't typically have to share. It's typically a big deal when movies land an A-lister for a role because of their brand or their backstories. AI actors don't offer that. But the expert warns that as advancements in artificial intelligence develop in the coming years, bots will eventually become indistinguishable from humans along every axis. In fact, Hansen warned it's already trending in that direction. Still, Van der Velden claims that her Tilly isn't out to rob real actors of their roles. It's funny that she blew up so much, especially considering she hasn't taken anyone's jobs at the technologist of the flack Tilly's received since starring in an AI-generated comedy sketch in July. The short film AI Commissioner by Particle 6 is the computerized pinup's first and only official acting gig.
Interesting.
Van der Velden says the humans of Hollywood shouldn't take Tilly too seriously, claiming she'll remain in the AI genre of cinematic storytelling for the foreseeable future. Yeah, I don't know. There is something uncanny. Like, I'm seeing these photos, and it does all the tricks they intended. It does.
Yeah.
But then you go, that's not real. And you're like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm going to be tricked. I want to be tricked by a real woman.
Right.
Not some fake one that
Not
some other woman,
not-
spun up with a bunch of nerds.
But not some guy that's actually in his mom's basement in Croatia with a wife beater on.
That's always what it is.
I know it is.
It's so weird.
And listen, I'm going to tell you something, guys. This is sad. I know several vets that have given all this money to these quote Ukrainian women. And it's bad. Yeah, and it's they got a good heart, so they get preyed on, and it's like, man, come on, dude. I mean,
well, you got to go see him in person.
Well, he tried. He went over there, and she wasn't there.
Uh-oh.
And one of them did. So. I love him.
Gosh.
I love him, but yeah, it's a hard thing.
No, I do. I'm still thinking about that story that Lithuania has 19% more women than men.
Yeah, you got your passport,
and I do, and I believe
go east.
They
go
speak
east.
the English over there.
Yes, they do speak in English.
What do they
in
look
the Baltic
like?
States.
Lithuanian women?
Oh, they're like Finns. They look
like most of them very cute, attractive blonde
They're
women.
very,
I'm looking them up.
Yeah, Lithuanians are good people.
Yeah, and I think Latvia, all the Baltics.
Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania.
What do you?
The very
What
first
does AI
thing,
say?
No, the AI is actually very generous. It says they're known for their strength, beauty, and resilience. That's nice.
Okay.
Yeah, they've got those Viking
But the
genes.
very first result is an Instagram page for Lithuanian girls.
She's a little bit risque.
It might have been Latvia. Yeah, whatever.
Latvia,
What's the
Lithuania,
difference?
Estonia, it's the same thing.
They're all over the map. There's dark hair with light hair.
Cool
I mean,
options.
yeah.
And,
It's close to Poland.
and her
It's close-
hair
they love
be
Poles.
whatever pleases God.
That's right.
They
Whatever.
all have Instagram faces. You know, like
What's an Instagram face? How would
like,
you describe it?
like finely tuned with fillers and Botox.
Yeah,
and
that's
they're
it.
just
I got you. I got
perfect makeup. Like they walk around with a filter.
That's not how it works.
I didn't need any of that. I don't
Sorry.
need any of that whatsoever.
Sorry.
Why are you apologizing?
I mean, I just busted your bubble about Lithuanian women.
I think it was Latvia actually, so I'm okay.
Latvia's fun too. They're more akin with Laplanders, with Finns.
And now, while we're on really important news, another New York Post story: woke white women meltdown over Pantone. Is that the Pantone?
Oh, Pantone. How the color is white this year?
Yeah, racist color of the
2026.
year.
It's like an alabaster.
Really?
Yeah, it's just white. And people are mad about that.
That's really a story.
Yeah,
Of course it
get
is.
over it.
They'll make anything a story.
Get over it.
Some raging that the choice is tone deaf and is proof that the whitewashing of America has gone
Whitewashing, don't get
too
me started.
far.
That's
Good
awesome.
Lord.
Whitewashing.
The company announced last week that its color choice of 2026 was Cloud Dancer.
See, that's
What gay man came up with that?
I know.
Hey, let's go to TJ Maxx after this. You want to?
But scores of white women immediately took to social media as they accused the company
Scores.
of race baiting and trying to stir up controversy, similar to Sydney Sweeney's American Eagle jeans
I knew
ad.
that's where they were going to go.
And that's
with it.
where it's all going. Yeah.
Let's be honest, whiteness is being weaponized everywhere right now. It's our politics, it's in our media, our police forces, our borders. Instead of reading the room, Pantone basically branded it a lifestyle, one woman posted. It's not just out of touch, it's symbolic. It's a reminder of who still controls the narrative. They are openly mocking us, choosing purity white as the cultural color of the year, while the rest of us are screaming for humanity.
Oh, the humanity.
What
me
if
a
it turned out
break.
it's like some gay Korean guy came
Oh,
up
you know
with
it
this?
is. You know it is. You know it's going to be some cleft palate, North African transgen hermaphrodite.
Yeah, that's what's so funny.
Imagine
Just
that.
like,
That sounds like a jelly roll, doesn't it?
No, and it's like the stuff that people care about. And this stuff gets like ridiculous amount of traffic.
that's
and
crazy.
sorts of
Yeah.
things. Like, and that's just the nature of the world, I suppose. Now, it's not all
It's just
military
the way it is.
affairs and Machiavellian politics.
It
or
can
any
be.
of that.
If you bring the sword out, you can change it all.
Yeah.
Just a few clips here and there, and everything will be fine. It's like eugenics.
You're just leaning it.
I know. Seriously, he just doubled.
Just leaning it
doubled
with
in
your
on it.
Rhodesian T-shirt on and your Rambo Trump behind you.
I like that shirt.
No, I love it. This part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting. And there at River Region Contracting, Todd Clark and the team are ready to help you out with your roof.
Yeah.
And could be don't really have an issue, but you don't know. like you hadn't had checked in a while. That's
Don't go up there. Don't go up there.
Yeah, what are you going to be looking for? Unless it's like obvious. Like, come on.
How are you going to get down?
Get them out there to do an inspection. The great news is their inspections are always free.
Yes.
And if they do find an issue, they'll write up an estimate for free. And they're insurance specialists, so they can walk you through the claims process, make it a swift and easy experience. Could be you have a problem. Maybe it's been a while. It's been 15 something years, and you're like, all right, time for a new roof. River Region Contracting can take care of it a beautiful way. They're really great at what they do. Or if you are just looking for that peace of mind, have them come out and inspect. And even if you're got no problems, they'll be like, good, no charge. So y'all check them out today. Call up Todd Clark and the team at 356-8635. That's 356-8635. And be sure to tell them that Joey, that fellow on the radio, sent you. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know go.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. Did you know the current national average turn time to close on a mortgage is 48 business days? But not at Alabama Home Mortgage. At Alabama Home Mortgage, our average close time is 16 business days. That's a month faster than the rest. How do we do it? With over 60 years of combined experience in the industry. Our team knows mortgages. Our years of experience yield a better experience for our customers. Folks, time is money. Whether you're looking to buy or refi, don't waste time with another mortgage company, bank, or credit union. We close on time, every time. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our fast turn time is just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Hello, everyone. Robbie Pelt with Capital City Roofing. If you think about it, your home is your biggest investment in life. Your roof covers your home, so why jeopardize your biggest investment on a roofer you don't know anything about when you can deal with a reputable roofing company like Capital City Roofing? We have an A+ Better business rating and the best manufacturers and workmanship warranties available. We do all residential and commercial roofing applications that are certified through the manufacturer to ensure you get the best material and workmanship money can buy. We also have your project in our best interest before and after construction has been done. Don't hesitate to call us if you have any roofing issues or questions. We will match any of our competitors' price and give you the same great workmanship warranty. We also give free estimates. Give us a call today and let us show you the difference. 277-3311. That's 277-3311. Or you can check us out on the web at www.capitalcityroofing.com. Capital City Roofing. We capitalize the roofing industry.
This season, Guardian Credit Union is here to make your holidays merry, bright, and financially right. Whether you're shopping for the perfect gift or planning a cozy getaway, we've got you covered. With holiday loans, checking solutions, and fraud protection tools, you can spend with confidence. And Guardian's mobile app makes it easy to keep track of your holiday budget. Stop by one of our branches and let us be your holiday helper. From all of us at Guardian, happy holidays. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Weather, a service of H&H Carpets, where right now, get a load of this, listen close, you get a house full of carpet for $19.95 installed. Unbelievable. They're located at 6450 Atlanta Highway, just across from Walmart.
Rich Thomas weather. Well, hi, everybody. Hang on. There's some better weather news in our future, at least in the short term. Today, gradually, we will work our way into sunshine with a high temperature only up to about 54. Mostly clear. A cold one tonight. Overnight low temperature down to about freezing by dawn. Tuesday will look nice with plenty of sunshine, high in the mid-50s. More sun, a little warmer. Wednesday, high 64. That's actually close to normal. Thursday's high 68. That's the warmest day of the week with widely scattered showers possible. And before this week is over, another Arctic plunge. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
When news happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Turns out we're going to have some light masochism in the studio here in a second. People are curious.
I'm curious.
But let's quickly go to East of the Rockies. Hey, East, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I promised I had a short question. This is directed to Troy, if I could. I just read an article that a friend sent me about international maritime law.
Yes.
And how that the ships or the boats that are being splashed in both the Pacific and the Caribbean don't have flags. Do you know something about this? I just tuned in recently, so I may have missed your discussion on it.
Yeah. So anytime you're dealing with maritime law, and this is an ancient field from many centuries, that either a letter of marque or marquee or a flag has to be flown to declare its registration today, and it's usually done electronically with transponders and with flags. But here's the deal. I don't know how that would apply, and I'm going to tell you why. These are smaller boats that they're using. These go fast kind of Miami Vice offshore racing boats. A lot of them, some of them are semi-submersibles. So I don't think you're going to ever see them be registered and flagged because they are narco. These are bad actors. So, but you ask your question, yes, any boat over, I believe it's 58 feet has to have a flag or register. But all boats, even pleasure boats east of the Rockies, has to be registered in some sort of capacity to go on water. But I don't think the cartels really follow that rule very much. So
well, I know they don't, and that kind of gives us a license to go ahead and splash them.
I like the way you think. I like the way you think. Yes, it does. You're absolutely right, brother. Because why?
My dad's Navy. So,
well, right. Well, you see, your dad would tell you this. The Geneva Convention is very clear about this. My good friend here, she knows all about it. The thing is this: if you're on a field of battle, and I know it's not been declared a war, but it is a known conflict area, and you have no identifications of national identity or military ID, I don't need you have no rights. I can execute you right on the spot for being an illegal combatant. Not that this is combat yet, but it's close. So
the old war movies when the guys would escape from Stalag 17 if they were caught in civilian clothing, then
you're done.
They were automatically deemed as spies.
You got it, my friend. Yeah. No, listen.
Go.
Listen, you said it best. It seems to me like that's open market or open season on them. Use common sense in this application. I don't know why the media is. Well, I know why the media is doing it. Joey and I have talked about it ad nauseum. They hate Trump. They hate Hegseth. They hate everything about them losing their privilege and their power in the media. So they're going to spin all sorts of stories.
There you go. Troy, thank you for your time, sir.
No, thank you for you're always a good caller. Thank you.
Thank you.
He's a good guy.
Trump just announced about an hour ago, I'm delighted to announce this afternoon that the United States will be taking a small portion of the hundreds of billions of dollars we received in tariffs. We're going to use that money to provide $12 billion in economic assistance to American farmers.
Yeah.
Not bad.
We got to keep that going.
And then at the same little roundtable, Trump was asked about the EU fining X for not having transparent content moderation. So you censorship.
They don't like it.
Yeah.
Let's listen into Trump.
It's pretty amazing. You're talking about, is that European Union or is it, who did that? European Union or UK?
Yeah, European Commission.
Whoa, that's a nasty one. I don't know. Elon has not called me to ask for help on that one. But no, that's a tough thing. I don't think it's right. No, I don't think it's right. I don't see, how they can do that. No. I'll speak about it later. I'm going to get a full report on it. Look, Europe has to be very careful. They're doing a lot of things. We want to keep Europe. Europe is going in some bad directions. It's very bad for the people. We don't want Europe to change so much. They're going in some very bad directions. That was a big thing.
Yeah, well, that's a nasty thing. You can tell Trump is not on board with that approach by the EU, and I agree.
Come on, you said it best. You can go peruse the internet right now and find story after story of English police raiding people's houses because they said something on social media.
Did you see the guy
bizarre
who came to the U.S. and went to a shooting range and posed with a gun?
Yep.
Or had his picture taken with a gun, and they got him when he went back.
Oh man!
What in the world?
What kind of?
It's insane.
That's the kind of country I could never live in.
Yeah.
No, in like 6 months for like.
That's why Morrissey moved here. That's why Morrissey moved here. Morrissey's a big nationalist. He's like it's almost like a white nationalist. I don't know. I hate to say it. No, I'm serious. If you read his interviews, he's like, we've got to restore our heritage and all this. He's an interesting guy.
Apparently, we got another one. This just happened at the White House moments ago.
At least 20 House Republicans who have either said they're going to retire or not run again. Do you have any
Democrats
concerns
also.
about the
And Democrats.
Right.
Also.
Do you have
well,
any?
Why don't you mention them? How many Democrats are going to retire? How many Democrats?
Well, that's what I was going to ask.
Why don't you tell me the number of Democrats too? You tell me
Are
about.
you concerned about the narrow margins? And
no, I'm not concerned. I think we're going to do well.
Among them, and
we will have the greatest economy.
Blakeman, who you know as well, is considering running for
We're going to
governor.
have the greatest economy in history. How many Democrats are retiring? How come you only know the Republicans but not the Democrats?
Because I came prepared to ask you a question about.
No, you're unprepared because you should know the Democrats. You're totally unprepared. Go ahead.
Well, can I ask a quick follow-up about? Who you with? I'm with New York Newsday, and I also have a quick follow-up. Congresswoman Elise Stefanik is among those who is running for New York governor.
She's great.
Bruce Blakeman, who you also know,
he's also great.
Are you planning on making any
Well,
endorsements?
I'll think about it, but he's great and she's great. They're both great people. We have a lot of great people at the Republican Party. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, man.
Hey, you can't get away with it.
She was already nervous. I don't think she's a regular.
He kind of took it kind of easy on her a little bit. He could have been even
Yeah,
harder.
he didn't call her any names.
That's what he say, or say
said,
fake news. You
yeah,
just shut up.
He just said, no, you're unprepared.
He just said, okay, he let her talk a
Fake
little bit.
news, big fake news.
Hey, did you see the girl beside? Go back out there in the silver. What has she got on? Is she got a jacket on around her? Can you see? Look here.
It's, I think, a shawl.
Is that a shawl? I don't see any arms on her.
Oh, like a
She
cape.
looks like
it's
she
like
may
a
be-
capelet.
Yeah, she's wearing like a tight top and then has this
Oh,
big
okay,
flowing
I see
shawl.
I see it now. I see her arms in brown leather.
Yeah.
Because against that leather chair, it looks kind of like she's a paraplegic.
Missing her arms.
She's missing her arms.
Yeah, but the big announcement, I guess, at this whole thing was they're going to put a bunch of money towards farmers.
Yes.
Just give it to
Since
them
we're not
straight up.
manufacturing anything, at least we can grow stuff. Let's do that.
And then Trump was asked about what Democrats are hoping will be a big issue for them, and that is American health care. Let's listen to Trump say.
If the Democrats go along with it, which they don't want to because they want to make the insurance companies very rich, okay? I want the money to be paid to the people to go out and buy their own health care instead of paying to the, the insurance companies, their stock has gone up 1,700% in a short period of time. Did you know that? 1,700%. you wish your corn went up, right? But the insurance companies, stock has gone up by 1,700%, 1,800%. They're taking in trillions of dollars. I don't want to pay the insurance companies anything. And I know a lot of them, but they're owned by the Democrats. And the Democrats have, Obamacare is a setup to make insurance companies rich. And I want to pay the people, and I want the people to go out and buy their own health care. And that's what we want to do. And that's what the Republicans want to do, because Obamacare is a disaster. And I said it 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago. It was always a disaster. It's bad health care that's too expensive for people. And now your premiums, and you said it better than I said it. You said the Obamacare premiums are going to go up. They're going way up. And what I want to do is have the money. And you know who's getting that money? A lot of it is the insurance companies. I want the people to get the money and go out and buy their own health care. And everybody wants that.
Actually, not a terrible idea. Yeah, especially if it's a specific like health savings account they just top off.
Yep.
That could work out. I believe there's a clip here of Bessent explaining, what's actually going to happen here with the farmers. Let's see here. It's a little down the way. Man, this is a long thing. A lot of clips.
There's a lot in there.
Here we go. This was Bessent explaining what exactly does Trump mean by giving these support payments to members of Congress.
The president's $11 billion relief package for America's farmers comes at a critical time. These direct payments will give producers the breathing room they need to market this year's harvest and plan for next season. This serves as a liquidity bridge during a period of adjustment, supporting the strongest agricultural sector in the world. Add this to the president's success in reining in Biden-era inflation, thanks to the administration's pro-growth policies, input costs like fuel, fertilizer are easing, and credit conditions are improving, interest rates are coming down, helping farmers prepare for the next harvest. President Trump scored a massive victory for America's farmers when he secured an arrangement with President Xi and Busan to reopen China's markets to U.S. agricultural exports, especially soybeans, sorghum, and other commodities. Under this framework, China committed to purchase at least 12 million metric tons of U.S. soybeans this growing season, followed by a minimum of 25 million tons annually for the next 3 years. And it's not just China. At the president's direction, Treasury, USTR, and the Department of Commerce have secured supplemental purchases of U.S. agricultural goods in major trade agreements across the world to open new markets to America's farmers. The One Big Beautiful Bill also delivered transformative benefits for America's small farmers. It locked in full expensing for farm equipment and 100% expensing for farm structures built during the president's term. I believe Representative Scott and a group in the House, we were originally just going to do factories, and they called us and said, you need to do farm structures too. And the president said, we're all in. And it extended and enhanced much needed relief from the punishing death tax, giving family farms greater certainty as they plan for the next generation. Mr. President, thank you for putting America first by putting your farmers first. Through pro-growth, pro-farm agenda, you are ushering in a new golden age of American agriculture, and Treasury is proud to help in this.
So I think there would be a lot of people in Alabama happy to hear this news. And I think, well, good for the team. But you can tell they're starting to shift to it's the economy.
Yeah.
We have to win on the economy.
2026 is going to be very hard to get out.
Those numbers for the first quarter are going to be very critical, very important. And even more important, the ones for the summer as we celebrate America's 250th birthday. Again, 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. Hit a quick break and we'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Calling all food lovers, Epicure is where your taste buds come to party. Start with the best steaks in the Southeast. And yes, we're bragging. The Brazilian flap steak? Forget everything you knew about steak. And the pasta, let's just say it makes that OG chain Italian pasta seem pretty forgettable. Pair it all with 58 beers on tap, a killer wine list, and pick 2 dinners for $52.99. Dinners served Tuesday through Saturday, 5 to 9. Epicure, your new foodie obsession.
Hi, this is Danny with High Caliber Gun and Pawn. November, we'll be celebrating 10 years of doing business in the river region, and Blue Water Broadcasting has been an integral part of that 10 years. High Caliber Gun and Pawn, we say we are a step above the rest, and Blue Water Broadcasting definitely is that step.
Radio works. It's as simple as that. Call us to find out how radio can work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The premier place the river region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Right to the phones and talk to Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
Man, did you know we only have like 5 days left until Christmas?
I think it's a little more than that. You're freaking me out, Ray.
Well, it's not if you're a husband and you haven't bought anything yet. It's like 5 days, guys. Y'all need to call me at 285-8117 so you can order some floors for your wife, because I know you've been meaning to call me and you hadn't done it.
The best floors are usually Christmas floors. That's a good gift right there.
They are. And unfortunately, I can't do that for Angie, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I still, yeah. The Christmas tree at the Bowles house is very bare.
You're actually going to have to go think of this through and put some thought into it and do it right.
Well, actually, about 10 years ago, we finally sat down and talked about it like the day after Christmas.
Okay.
And she's understanding that if she doesn't text me a picture of what she wants, and where to buy it at and how much she's looking at, it's not going to happen.
Okay.
So you have a choice. You can have a happy Christmas or a silent Christmas.
Okay.
But the money's going to be sent. So, yes, she sends me pictures now. And we have a great marriage.
That's great.
Very good. Just communication is key.
Yeah, understanding each other's styles.
Right.
That's what you need to do.
Yep.
Well, understanding that your husband's not listening to what you're saying anyway, period. We're not comprehending. That's why God made us this way. It's not our fault.
The fact you're having this conversation with me is incriminating on your behalf if she hears it, because you're talking about rationalizing it. And you know what to do there, Ray. Ray, I have great faith in you.
Guys, listen, seriously, if y'all need a floor, call us, 285-8117. And if y'all have not been downtown Prattville at night, oh my word, I came
That's
down
nice.
Saturday night.
That's so nice.
It is absolutely stunning. Kelly Cook has done an amazing job. Oh, I'm telling you, Carter, sorry. I've known her forever. We since 20 years ago. So anyway, guys, if y'all come down here on a Saturday night, the only downside you're going to find is parking.
Yeah.
There's nowhere to park.
Yeah.
But it is well worth the drive to Prattville. I can promise you that.
That's awesome.
Well, folks, get by there. And, of course, call them at 285-8117 because there's only 5 days of Christmas.
according to Ray Bowles.
Well, appreciate you, Ray.
All right, guys. Y'all have a great day.
You too. Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this? Anybody there? Yeah, they're listening to the show, clearly.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. Hello.
Put the phone on speakerphone, walked away.
Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate.
Because it takes forever to get through, Joey. That's why they were waiting and then he just walked away.
I think I'm pretty quick on
You're very
draw.
good. No, you are. I was being facetious.
I've seen people wait on hold a long time when we're in the
I'm
middle of
sensitive
stuff.
about
I know you are. Don't be sensitive. Come on.
So did we learn anything today?
Yes. That guy said, I don't know who's working harder, me or your ankles.
Oh, that was funny.
That was
She was
funny.
cool about it. She's like, oh, well.
She's a
okay.
trooper.
She goes, what zoo glass? It's that thick stuff. It's a zoo.
Oh gosh, she was blonde.
Oh no, there's no. I was
Big
going to tell
time
Joey. She was
blonde.
very. She received it, but she was kind of dead.
Yeah, she was thick, but she looked
Yeah.
like she worked out too when she flexed a little bit.
Dude, listen.
She wasn't.
Dude, listen, bro. Those are going to be thighs dangling. Real
Yeah,
soon,
I
dude.
know. What's wrong with that?
He goes, what
Right.
would you say when you saw her? You heard what I said? I said, probably people are going to call her Miss Piggy. Because she's
I did
blonde.
hear that,
She's
yeah.
blonde. No, but no. Listen, God bless her little heart. God bless her little heart. She's got a great personality, I'm sure.
Right.
But Joey, you can do better. Latvia's got better options for you.
I'm just saying, who needs fake news when you got cake news?
That's
That
terrible.
is funny.
That's so terrible.
Fee, fi, fo,
It's like the
yum.
sticker I saw in that
Fee, fi,
truck
fo,
the other
yum was a
day.
good
It's got
one.
a silhouette of a stripper, a fat stripper, and he goes, I work harder than a fat stripper, it says.
So, since I've kind of run out of things to talk about, should I read this thing again?
Yeah, go for it.
Because there are probably some folks that didn't hear the very beginning
I think
of the
you
show.
need to. I think
Did
it's
you hear
really
the
good.
very beginning of the show?
It's really good.
Let me read this thing again.
I think you should.
For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. That's Psalm 91:11. Are not all angels ministering spirits sent to serve those who will inherit salvation? Hebrews 1:14. The best movies tend to watch you the more you watch them. Watch a great film enough, and it becomes more than just a film, but a constellation that serves to watch, minister, and guard us through the ever-changing seasons of life. Classic Christmas movies can especially evoke reactions in a repeat viewer that reveal more about the viewer than the movie itself. Christmastide can be the most wonderful as well as the most despairing time of the year. Yet each Noel, the same films play in the background for the lonely and the loved all the same. The same stories flickering on our screens as spirits or ghosts, uplifting or haunting us with all the memories the holiday can bring. For me, Frank Capra's film is It's a Wonderful Life has served this role, watching me on many Christmases past. Upon my first watch as a teenager, alongside friends and family on a beach trip, I was charmed by the movie's sweeping perspective of one man's life, all wrapped up in the saving grace of God and his angels. As a hopeless romantic, I particularly loved George and Mary's love story and wished that dearly for myself, that I could one day lasso the moon, even if begrudgingly. I also felt the sting of George Bailey's regrets growing into despair. Seeing him as a good man who didn't deserve his suffering, a man who had done nothing but the right thing only to play into the hands of cruel fate, I prayed the prayers of his family and friends would be heard. After seeing what life was like had George Bailey never been born, my heart leapt with happiness as God granted George his old life back, bringing a happy ending of friends, family, bell rings, new wings, riches, and song. Fast forward 5 years into my early 20s, I remember thinking George Bailey was an economic illiterate who foolishly engaged in fractional reserve banking, and that Pottersville looked like a fun place for a bachelor to live fast and loose, a rip-roaring good time full of booze and women supplied by the market after being demanded by men being all too men. Upon another watch a few years later, I could see that Frank Capra was obviously a damn dirty commie. His movie just another Hollywood trick to help bolster the class war of the Reds and their progressive fellow travelers. As a 1947 FBI memo states, with regards to the picture It's a Wonderful Life, our source stated in substance that the film represented rather obvious attempts to discredit bankers by casting Lionel Barrymore as a Scrooge type so that he would be the most hated man in the picture. This, according to these sources, is a common trick used by communists. Scrub forward a few years into my early 30s, and I was once again watching the film, this time alone. The charm I once felt for it had completely faded. I was no longer in love with George and Mary's love story, as I was less a hopeless romantic and more just hopeless. Left on a lonely island of self-imposed exile, I saw George Bailey as a weak wretch of a man who didn't appreciate his own free choices and thus didn't deserve saving in his discouragement. Those who wish they were never born get what they deserve. More so when whether or not George Bailey was deserving or not, I felt there was no God. No stars or galaxies watching over us here on Earth, and certainly no angel named Clarence coming to save any of us in our regrets. I bristled at the sentimentality and simple-minded appeals to prayer, having seen prayers seemingly answered in my own life by the decay and death of someone I loved the most. And when I heard Suzu's every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings, I felt as though I was a man out in the cold, looking in on a welcoming family warmed by the fire, yet refusing to knock on the door.
too proud in my free choice to stand alone in the snow. Now, 37 years old, I haven't watched It's a Wonderful Life in years. Yet, as strange as it sounds, the spirit of its story has been watching me, serving me, ministering and guarding me through lonely and loving Christmases past. In media interviews at the time, Capra did not portray it as a holiday film, writes Stephen Cox in a 2006 LA Times column. In fact, he saw it as a cinematic remedy to combat what he feared was a growing trend towards atheism and to provide hope to the human spirit. In a moment of possible revisionism decades later, Capra said that he also realized that with the holiday season comes an inherent vulnerability in all humans, and that this uplifting tale might just ride on that sentiment. When's the last time you've seen It's a Wonderful Life? I asked my 89-year-old roommate, my grandfather. Oh, it's been a few years. I've watched it, since I've watched it, but I remember it being a great movie. Well, that's what I'm writing about this week, I said. Would you like to watch it again tonight when I'm done? Sure. Good. I have a feeling I need to watch it again. I think I'll like it more than ever now. And in fact, we did watch it, and I did like it more than ever, though still a little commie. Anyway, on that note, y'all make sure to say your prayers for folks in this world that you love the most, and you should be saying those anyway. But say a little prayer for those folks you don't know, because it is can be a rough time of the year. I've been there myself, and I thank God, truly, the God above, that I'm feeling much better this year to say, in fact, it is a wonderful life, and in part because of great folks like y'all here and a few who aren't here, but I love them all the same. And on that sappy note, let's get out of here. Happy Hour with Greg Budell. He's next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master